I'm lucky I didn't kill him that night, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, you took the back of that guy's head off. I saw it. They wanted to turn the machine off. So they said to me, right, we want to turn your mum's machine off. And straight away I said, turn it off.
Take 2, Adam Summers, because we've got a young youth here that don't know how to operate equipment. Second handshake, probably about the second of about 10 to come. An amazing podcast to come. We were talking, weren't we, for a while. I like to get to know people here rather than looking at anything, figuring out what they've done, watching people's videos, stuff like that. So we've sat for 20 minutes and I said, no, we need to just start this now because your story is amazing. And I think it's going to offer an insight to the army, the war in Iraq, mental health, single dad, all of these things. Piers Morgan.
Yeah, definitely Piers Morgan.
All of it. So thank you so much for coming. I know it's been a bit of a drive. And let's just start, man. So back to where we were. Grew up with your mum.
Yep, so grew up in Peckham, on the North Peckham estate. Mum was a raging alcoholic. I remember as a young age always having to kind of be the parent. I remember on a Thursday night, my dad would be home after a day shift. I'd have to try and get her sober, so there wasn't a row. On a Sunday, I used to hate my dad working Sunday nights because I would be out of my mind with worry over my mum because she'd just get in such a drunken state. But then it just kind of come the norm.
So was she boozing in the day?
Yeah,
or was it a night thing?
So on a Sunday, it was, back in them days, everyone go to the pub for a Sunday lunchtime drink and then go back. But then the minute my dad left the house to go to work, she'd be straight down the shop to get a bottle of vodka. And I used to absolutely hate it. I used to dread them Sunday night. I used to beg her, like, please don't go to the shop, please don't go to the shop. And then in the end, I just kind of...
Gave up on it?
Yeah, I just like, fuck it, let's worry about me. Do you know what I mean?
And was it so bad? Was she violent?
No.
She wasn't violent?
No, it wasn't nasty or violent at all. She just... she was an overly nice drunk. Do you know what I mean? It was like she knew she'd done wrong, so she'd compensate and be more loving. But because of the situation it was I just
all fake.
Yeah, I didn't want it.
It's the same as when you're an adult now. If you ever try and go out with people who are drunk and you've not had a drink,
it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. If I'm not drinking, I won't bother, and I won't turn up late either if I am drinking.
Yeah.
Because it's
a loop. The same conversations. How many times someone's going to tell you they love you?
Yeah.
Broken promises and all of these things, and it's like, fucking hell, I need to be pissed.
And it's boring.
It's boring.
It is boring as fuck.
It is boring as fuck. So when we were talking before we started recording, you said about school and you struggled at school.
Yeah. So at school, when I was at primary school, I got kicked out of one school. I had to go to another school, and that was in primary school. I was very gobby, do you know what I mean? But not in a nasty way. I wanted everyone to laugh at me. I wanted to be the class clown. I wanted to be the joke of the pack. And then when I went to secondary school, I was just that kid that, every parents' evening was if he could just apply himself. And unless it was anything to do with PE or practical or English or history, I wasn't interested at all. If I'm interested in it, you've got my full undivided attention. But even now, if I'm not interested, it's like my brain's going la 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 la. I'm not going to listen. Not on purpose, So I was captain of the school football team. Anything to do with sports, I was steaming at. I boxed when I was at school as well for the local boxing club. So anything sport-wise, I loved. But school wasn't for me at all. I absolutely hated it. I remember but even now, I say my youngest hates school. My oldest, I've asked for a DNA test sometimes because he's so clever I can't believe he's mine. Do you know what I mean? But he is. But I say school's the best. You remember when you were a kid, he always told school will be the best time of your life. You're like, no, will it? No way is it.
It wasn't for you.
I look back and I'd love to go back there and be a bit more carefree, but at the same time I wasn't carefree because of what was going on with my mum. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, school wasn't for me. And I think a lot of, sort of jumping forward a little bit, I think a lot of people that do join the army have all got that same background, that anything to do with physical activity or practical stuff, you're fine. But as for sitting there taking down and doing tests and that, it's just, it's a no-no.
It's it absolutely rings true because we were discussing before, I'm a tennis coach, but for about 6 years I did PE teaching as well in schools, primary school PE teaching. Once you'd got to a certain level of coaching any sport, you can kind of turn your hand to any kind of PE teaching as long as you follow a lesson plan. And I remember working at a school in Loughborough, not far away. It was in a slightly deprived area, should we say. And there was this one boy, and learning difficulties and disruptive, and he'd come to PE, and he would be all right for a while. And I remember one half term, so each half term you change the sport that you're doing. So you might do rounders for half a term and then tennis and whatever. And then during the winter, because you weren't going out on the field, you did something inside. And it was either gymnastics or dance, something like that. But one half term, the school had asked if I did sort of some like fitness boot camp stuff with them. So we set up all these stations every week, and there'd be press-ups there and sit-ups there and step-ups on the bench and all these different kind of things. This lad was the best by a mile. He was a machine. He went from being nobody wanted to be on his team, he'd never come in PE kit, one of those kind of lads. And the teachers were like, wow. And I said, this guy needs to go in the army. This guy needs to go in the army.
Yeah.
He's got physical structure, pushing himself to the limits. He's excelling at it. This is his niche. Yeah. I don't know what ever came from him, but it was back then, and I said, he needs to go in the army.
But you know as well as I do, physical fitness, it's all up here.
Yes.
A lot of it is all up here.
Yeah.
Because remember Mr. Motivator, it's all mind over matter. If you don't mind, it won't matter. Yeah. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
I always go for runs on the army. Like one of the things they do is you'd be hanging out your hoop, and they'd run towards the camp gates. You think, oh yes, thank God, and they'd turn left and run all the way past them. And it was just that to see who mentally would break, and people would drop out. But it's just all that. It's all up here.
I was just saying to Ben as we were driving back from wherever we'd been, picked my dog up and dropped off at my dad's house. Have you heard of the bloke called David Goggins?
Yeah.
So I watched a podcast day before, and it was Andrew Huberman, and he was interviewing Goggins. And Huberman's an amazing biologist, scientist, looks into all of these different types of things. And he says, we've now discovered a part of the brain that, whether they're going to call it this or he was just doing it during the podcast, we're going to call it the Goggins hemisphere or something. And he says, we've discovered this part of the brain where when you are doing something you don't want to do and you persevere, this part of your brain grows and becomes more active. And the more you do the things, the more you want to do them, the more risks you take, the more challenge. Yeah. And Goggins is sitting there like, I know this. I've been doing it for years. I've been doing this for years. But they're now starting to catch up with the scientific evidence of, yes, what you're saying.
There is facts behind it.
There's now scientific evidence that when you push yourself with something, whether it's physical, mental, you do become stronger. Mental toughness is not something you're born with.
No.
It's something that you forge from desperation and hardship.
And I think as well, like life as well. Life makes you mentally tough over time.
Yep.
But I also believe the more you get in life, the softer it makes you as well. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'll sort of go into that a little bit later, but I do believe that the more you get in life, the softer it makes you.
100%.
Yeah.
I've got a theory on this, and Ben likes my little theory. I think the kids started getting soft when you used to get a save point in video games. Remember playing Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog? Getting all the way to the end boss and dying? Yeah. And you got to go all the way back to the start. You don't go to the save point 2 seconds before and keep trying to kill the boss until you kill the boss. And it does sound silly and whatnot. And of course, it's not the only reason. But imagine the things that you had to teach yourself at 9 years old then. You've got all the way to the end. You've tried your best and you've failed. And you know that if you want to succeed, you've got to do all of that again. And it does 2 things for you. Number 1, it gets you very, very good at all of the things before it. You become an expert at it. You know when that fireball's going to come, when to jump, boom, you can become proficient at it. And then when you finally finish it, you've got that sense of achievement. But not only that, you've got to pick yourself up because you're in pieces afterwards. Chuck the pad on the floor, go downstairs, have a cry.
Because back there's a long old hall to start
It
again.
was a long haul. You go to the arcade, you put your 20p in to play Double Dragon. You've got 3 lives, mate. That's it.
That's it, bust, yeah.
So for you to complete that game, you've either got to be the little rich kid on the street whose dad gives you loads of pound coins, or you've got to be fucking good at it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I think we are, as a society, getting softer.
100%.
Particularly males.
Yeah, yeah. And I think society now in general, I think it's too PC. It's over PC. And I think it is making everyone a lot softer. And have you seen them videos of like on YouTube and I think on TikTok as well, when someone sort of, it says like kids in the 80s and it bumps into a wall and it's like shrugs it off, and as years
90s.
go on it's like,
Ouch.
and it gets to now and it's like sat there crying.
So true.
That's exactly true.
So true.
Yeah, it is true.
It's so true. But there's a saying, isn't there? Tough men create good times create weak men create tough times. And it's just a cycle again. Just a cycle.
That's right, yeah.
You know, I said to somebody on one of the previous podcasts, maybe 10 or 11, I said, if there was a ground invasion of the Russians in the UK right now, we would get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Because the youngsters, the blokes in this country, have never had a fight in their life.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
the only thing we've got going for us is our technology. Take that all out of it. If you go back to the Roman times and you've just got 20,000 blokes coming with swords and shields, we ain't got a chance.
No, we ain't.
Nor has America.
No one's going to get up and bear arms and fight for this country.
Nope.
No.
But they wouldn't know how to.
No.
They wouldn't know how to. You know, when's the last... I say to... You see all these lads, I am tough, I'm this, that, and the other. How many times have you been smacked in the face? None. You don't know how tough you are until you're smacked in the face.
That's right, yeah. But it's not about getting smacked in the face. Like, I tell my boys all the time, don't worry about getting in a punch-up and getting punched. The worst thing about being punched is the fear of being punched.
Yes.
Once you've been punched, it's not actually that bad. It obviously depends how big the fella is, but but overall, it's like anything. The fear of it is worse than the actual action.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you've got over that fear, and it can apply to anything in life, once you've got over that fear, it's not as bad as what you
It's
make
weird
it
because
to
I was
be.
literally just having this discussion with Ben a couple of days ago. I said, can you name me a time in your life when you were scared of something, then you actually did it, and it was as bad as you thought it was? Never.
No.
The thought of what it's going to be like is always worse.
And you actually get annoyed with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You daren't jump off that rock or go down that rope slide or go down that water slide. You daren't do it. And then the second you've done it, you go, I want to do it again.
I'll do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah,
Let's go.
It's a great
Let's
thing
go.
ever. Yeah.
So when did you join the army then?
So sort of going back to it, when I was at school, what happened was before I joined the army, when I was at school, we'd done the work experience part.
Yes.
So there was a kid at school the year above me called Tommy McCarthy, and his uncle worked in the Life Law, which was the London Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
So when it came to my turn to do work experience, my dad said, "What do you want to do for work experience?" I said, "I want to do this thing called the Stock Exchange." I said, "Because Tommy McCarthy was doing it, and he was home at 12 o'clock every day." And that sounds a bit of me, really. So when my dad worked in a casino, from like back in the 80s, like one of the first casinos in London. And he spoke to one of the women dealers that was actually seeing a trader. Spoke to him, and he said, "Yeah, let him come on for work experience." So I've done that for work experience. That was very turbulent during the work experience. I picked up the hand signals really, really quickly. So it's all hand signals because there's a lot of noise on the floor. There's telephones going, so it's all.
So what are you doing? You're conveying a message from
my traders, we're options traders. And they'll signal you a message to either buy or sell at a certain price in a certain month.
Yep.
In a futures market.
Yes.
So I would turn to the broker, I'd decode that message in my head of what they'd done. I'd turn to the broker, tell him what I'd done. If that's sold, I'd then go back and signal it back to my trader that the trade had been made. Mm-hmm. He'd write it on his card and then give it to another runner, and they'd go and put it in the system, and they'd be given a new sort of position, a new spreadsheet of where they are on their stocks and shares sort of spreadsheet, their position, call it their position. And within a couple of days, I picked the hand signals up really quickly. It was a practical thing. To me, it just made sense. If you're signaling to buy, your hands towards you. If you're signaling to sell, it's away from you. Top of your head is tens, the bottom's units. Simple. And then you had the different things for the months. It was like 4 months.
So say that again. Top of your head is tens.
And bottoms were units. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40,
Right, so your numbers.
50, and then 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So what's the difference between 1 and 6? 1
and 6.
6.
Yeah. 10,
1.
60.
Okay.
Yeah. And if my palm's facing me, it means I want to buy.
Yeah.
If my palm's away, it means I want to sell.
Right.
So I just found it.
Yeah, it
I
just
found
made sense to you.
Yeah, just made complete and utter sense to me. So within like the third day, I was on the step, helping do the points, and you also have to keep pointing what the. So like if you was doing like deck, so like that was deck, which is like decks, which made sense to me. So
What, I don't know what Dex is.
so deck is December, the month of December.
Oh yeah.
So in the futures, we might be sat in June. Obviously, futures market is in December, so that was December, and it might be the bid is buy at 3, sell at 4. So you'd say like deck, 3 at 4, 3 at 4, 3 at 4. So buy at 3. So you just let them know what the price is at the minute of the month, or if a new price comes in for, I think that was SEP. It might be 6, buy at 6, sell at 7. So you just let them know like SEP 6, 7, 6, 7.
How many mistakes do you think were made with that? Because this seems very
Well,
down to human error. I mean, if you'd a bit pissed up the night before, had a couple of lines in the toilet. I mean, there's not a lot of room
which happens a lot. I can assure you. Yeah,
I can believe it.
Yeah, I remember I got taken to a strip club when I was on work experience.
How old were you?
15.
Come on.
Yeah, and the funniest thing was, because I was a bit leery anyway, this dancer comes over to me and says, "Oh, I've been told to take you for a dance to embarrass you." I was like, "Oh, have you? Come on, let's go." She was more shocked than me. I was like, "Come on, right, let's go."
Legend.
And
you can't do that now. You'd be fucking sent.
Yeah,
sent
yeah,
down, wouldn't you?
I
You'd be sent down. The blokes that had ordered you that and took you there, they'd be fucking locked up.
Yeah, can you imagine taking a 15-year-old to a strip club and plying him with alcohol as well? Can you imagine that now? But back then it was just
A different world.
But it was a status thing as well. You had to do that. Do you know what I mean? To sort of prove yourself.
But touching on what you said earlier about living with your mum, you had to grow up much quicker. And if you look at 16, 17-year-olds back in our era, they were much closer to being men than they are now.
Yeah, you're right. And
I mean, he's 24.
and just about get sweetness for the coffee, yeah.
But yeah, so it was a different time, different era.
It was, yeah. And like the guy actually called my dad and said that he's got a very old head on young shoulders, and a lot of that was because I kind of brought myself up because
family situation.
Yeah, I mean, my mum was good as gold. Do you know what I mean? She was a good mum, but the alcohol let her down massively. Mm-hmm. And when my dad worked shift work, a lot of the time I'd have to sort of look after myself. Yeah. There's also I've got my mum's best mate, my auntie Bridie. She's like my mum, and we'll go on to that later. I love that woman to death.
Everyone's got an auntie that's not your auntie, haven't they?
Yeah, but she's. They say blood's thicker than water.
Absolutely.
Absolute bullshit. I find water is 10 times thicker than blood.
Well, we know this one, don't we, Ben? Yeah. So the actual saying is not blood is thicker than water.
Oh, was it not?
No. And it means exactly what you think it does. It says the blood of the womb. It essentially, see if you can bring it up, Ben. It essentially says that
the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Yeah.
And what that means is the friendships that you've made are often much closer than family relatives.
Yeah.
So so people get that confused. Blood is thicker than water, assuming that what we mean by blood is family.
Yeah.
But the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. Which puts it into perspective because how many people are going, I mean, you see a lot of people now, don't you, talking about having toxic relationships with family members and this, that, and the other, and you can cut them out. You choose who your friends are going to be.
Yeah.
You don't choose
your family. That's right. That's a good saying,
Yeah. So your auntie then is
a
diamond.
Oh, she's like my mum. Like I always say to her, has the most important woman in my life, and she is. Do you know what I mean? She is, and she's from Ireland. She's a childminder, but she does not put up with any shit. Like I actually said, she would sort the Middle East out. She'd go over there and shout at them, and they would fucking do what they were told. She's the only person I'm scared of in this world as well. Like if she tells me to do something, it's fucking done.
Wow.
And
Mr. Sniper.
Yeah,
scared
of Auntie Bridie. when I was in Iraq, she taped 6 months worth of EastEnders for me because I liked EastEnders.
Bless her. On the old VHS.
Yeah, on the old
tapes.
VHS tapes. Yeah, 6 months worth. Yeah. But then I had to go back and watch it out of politeness, which was a marathon.
I got a friend he's an Indian chap, and when family members from India used to come over, they used to be obsessed with British adverts. So my mate back in the day used to have to record adverts so that when they came over, he could put the VH tape and it was just adverts.
Just adverts. Oh
You're
my
like,
God.
what the fuck?
What era was that though? Because adverts were quite good back when we were growing up.
Early 90s,
Early
maybe?
90s, yeah.
Early 90s.
So like You've Been Tango, that was a good one. Do you remember?
Amazing.
Yeah.
There was that craze, wasn't there, where all the kids were going around school playing, going bang
Yeah,
onto
on his
somebody's
face.
face.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it before. You've been tangled. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, good. So stock exchange then. Amazing.
So yeah, in the stock exchange, and then what happened was I finished my work experience, and school got worse and worse and worse for me, and my dad got brought in. A lot of behind the scenes happening with my mum. That it was getting severely worse, and it was a case of back then he'd go to like the naughty school, or we expel him. So my dad sort of said to him, look, how about we do this? He does 4 days a week work experience and he does 1 day of schooling so he can do his GCSEs. They agreed to it. So I was, just before I was 16, when I worked on stock exchange full time, Dad spoke to the trader. He was like, yep, bring him in, we'll do it, no problem at all. And after about a month, I sacked that 1 day at work, 1 day at school, and just done 5 days at work and I was getting paid. But the funniest thing about that is I was getting paid really, really well.
I can imagine.
So I'm going to the pub that everyone from school's going to, thinking, oh, look at ads to drop at, and I'm in an Armani suit, Thomas pink shirt and tie, buying bottles of champagne just to be like, look at me. But cut a long story short, I was always on the point side, and when you go back to saying about mistakes, I made a mistake because I was half cut from the night before, and I lost my bosses at 138 grand in one sitting. So
What did you do? Tell him to sell instead of buy? Or?
no, he wanted to buy one,
Yeah.
and I said to buy 10.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and it's obviously the volume was a lot better. It was a lot.
So when you
bigger.
say wanted to buy one what?
Like one
stock?
future. So when they
One
when options traders do calls, it's called calls and puts.
Yes.
And they do a saddle. So when they do a strategy, they have to do like a future trade to kind of just hedge their bet a little bit. So we had to buy like one future in like March, say for example. It was really, really busy. I think it was when the interest rate come out. It was in a sterling pit. When the interest rate come out, it should be like boom. You should really kick off. And I was still half cut from the night before, and I had a little look, and he was like that. So I thought he said buy 10. We didn't. He said buy one.
And then it didn't do what you thought it was going to do. So instead of it being,
I could have made him 138 grand.
Yep.
And then I'd have looked like the hero.
Yeah.
And I could have blagged it and said, oh, I knew that would be better off for you. But no, it didn't, and I lost 138 grand. So when the floor closed and it went computerised, because there's no floor trading in the UK anymore, it's all computerised.
do they still do it in Wall Street?
I think I'm not too sure on Wall Street, but I know the Chicago pit is still open.
Is it?
Yeah, there's still a few pits that are still open. But no, there's no more. But a lot of like the future traders now are cab drivers because they were just barrel boys. A lot of the options, you've got to be quite clever for options, and I never understood it. Futures is simple. I'll buy this for £1, then I'll sell it for 2.
Yes.
It's like working on the market.
Yes.
So if you've got a bit of bunny about you know how to speak to people. Futures is the way forward. Like you was fine. But then when it all went computerised, it's whoever pushes a button first. And most of the future traders back then, or then that had gone on to computerised, were probably either too pissed or too coked up to sort of work it all out on a computerised, A lot of them are cab drivers now, like the futures traders. Some did go out to America to go on the floor trading that, but most of them just...
And when did that all come to an end? When did they just stop?
99 with the floor closed.
1999?
1999, yeah.
Wow. I bet you've seen some fucking mad shit on a night out with them lads, haven't you?
Horrendous, yeah. I remember once we was in there, Will McClay, he was from Chicago. He looked like Mr. Freeze, from The Incredibles. Yeah. He looked just like him, right? Yeah. And we was in a pub, it's been quite leery. It was a pub on Cannon Street, actually. And they wanted to kick us out. And he turned around and said, how much for me to buy every single drink in this pub now? and we stay in here just us. Obviously they didn't, but he was prepared to do that. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm glad in some respects that life never worked out, because you can quite easily turn into a bit of a nasty person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money does change you,
Yes.
and I've seen it in that situation.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad in some respects. Don't get me wrong. Now I'd cut my right arm off to have to be a pound behind what I had then, but I wouldn't be the person I am now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
It's a very fickle world.
money can bring the best out in some people, but the worst out in most.
And 80% it brings the most out, especially in that situation.
Yeah. They become very arrogant. I'm the, who are you to talk to me like that?
Exactly, and that's why he turned around and said to that pub landlord, how much for me to buy every drink in this pub? And it wasn't, he would have done it.
Belittling him.
He would have done it and walked out. But it was just his way of exactly that, belittling him. Look at me. I mean, I look back and I think, what a prick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the time, it's kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, but I mean,
man,
then I was just like 16, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. Do you know
Proper
what I mean?
impressed.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. So then decided,
So obviously when the floor closed, I was walking a Royal Albert building labouring, and I was a little bit like, I can't hump and dump shit. I used to work on a stock exchange, don't you know? But I was getting in trouble a lot, fighting in towns, in pubs and clubs, and I knew that I was going to amount to nothing. And I'd always been interested in art. My granddad was in a Paris.
what age were you at this point?
17.
Yeah.
17. So I knew that my life was going to amount to nothing. I had no direction, no qualifications. I didn't even do my GCSEs, even though my CV says I got 5 GCSEs A to C. Never sat my GCSEs, and I was going nowhere. So I've always been interested in the army. So I just thought one day, fuck it. If you don't do this, you're either going to end up in prison or you're going to amount to fuck all. Mm-hmm. So I went to the careers office down the Strand and joined the army. Yeah, and yeah, it was a long process because you have to go and do obviously your pre-selection and all that sort of stuff. But when I'd done a pre-selection, so the pre-selections you've got to do a few tests, it's like a 1.5-mile run in a certain time, so many press ups, so many sit ups. And just show that you haven't got a big records or anything, but just show that you are fit enough to start training. That you're not going to turn up and be an absolute sack of shit. That you're off.
Yeah.
They can mould you into what they want.
Yeah.
When I came back, that by now my mum had moved out and moved in with her boyfriend that she met in one of the rehabs that she went to. And I called the phone to say. So he picked up the phone, Steve. And I said, I was with mum there. He said, oh, no, she's not here. I said, all right, no worries. Put the phone down. And then I went to bed, and it was the next morning he turned up at my house, and my dad was on shift, knocked on the door and said, look, your mum's in hospital. She had a fit, blah, blah, blah. She's in hospital. She's in St Thomas's. So I was like, right, okay. So I shot up there. Mum was in intensive care, and she was in a bad way. Like she'd been, you can tell that she'd been bashed up. Cuts and bruises everywhere and that. But then you got in intensive care. I was just a bit. I was a bit like a rabbit in the headlights then. Yeah. So I didn't really know what was going on. So I was just sort of got through it. I told my dad about the situation, and then it was a Thursday or no? It was a Friday. I went to the hospital to see my mum, and intensive care they have a nurse all the time. And I said to her, excuse me, madam. I said, but why is she in this state she's in? Like, what happened? And she said to me, when you've got cirrhosis of the liver and your liver's packing up, you do bruise and cut easily. She went, but not to this extent. And she said, and on the report here, when the ambulance turned up, they called the police because they felt the police needed to be involved. So straight away, and I knew he'd hit her a few times anyway, but I couldn't do anything because I leave her flat and she's left with it. Yeah. So I could never really do anything about it. I just had to kind of sort of suffer it, if you like.
Because there'd be the retaliation, wouldn't there?
Not on me, but on her.
On your mum.
Yeah. So, Saturday, we went to Caesar's down the Old Kent Road, Caesar's nightclub, which was £20 to get in free drinks all night.
Wow.
And then I left early because I I wasn't in a good place. I left early, went to mine, and I was like, right, I'm going to go and sort this fucker out. When I knocked on his flat door, he answered the door with a hammer.
He knew.
So he knew exactly why I was there. It was like 12 o'clock. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. So he knew why I was there.
Yeah.
So we had a punch up. I battered the bloke.
Did he whack you with a hammer?
No, he didn't. No. He didn't get a chance. No, I was so. I'm lucky. I didn't kill him that night. If I'm honest with you. And then the police turned up, but back then the police station, because it was in Elephant and Castle. It was on a what's the name of the estate? The estate will come to me. But the nearest police station was Carter Street Police Station, and back then in the 90s. Carter Street had quite a reputation that when people used to get arrested in London, they say, please don't take me to Carter Street. Because the police were a bit old and bold then.
Yeah.
Copper turned up, but because the police had been involved from that police station originally when my mum went into the hospital, they kind of knew what the sketch was anyway. And he said to me, look, mate, don't worry. It's not going to be as bad as you think. I still had to get arrested.
Yes.
Got arrested. And then... when I was in Nick, I was in Nick on a Saturday night. I got released on the Sunday morning. I went home and my auntie Bridie called me and she went, have you called the hospital? And I said, no. She went, put your dad on the phone. So I knew straight away something was going on. So my dad got the phone and said, come on, we need to go to the hospital. And we got to the hospital. And because I was registered as next to kin, they wanted to turn the machine off. So they said to me, right, we want to turn your mum's machine off, but you're next to kin. And I looked at my dad and he said, it's your choice, mate. He said, and your mum would want you to make that choice. And straight away I said, turn it off. Didn't bat an eyelid, I said, turn it off straight away. And I think a lot of that, when I look back, is where it was like I was constantly being a parent, I didn't want that hassle anymore. I wanted the problem gone.
Yeah.
Which I used to beat myself up a lot
I'm
over.
sure you did.
Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, I'll just fucking get rid of it. But looking back, it was the right thing to do. Like it was a machine.
I bet you've been through.
Yeah. A number of times. Even now, sometimes it still plays with me. Do you know what I mean? Because straight away I said, yeah, turn it off. And my head was like, I wanted the problem gone. It was like chucking something in a bin.
Yeah.
Like just fucking get rid of it. Do you know what I mean? But my mum, for her faults and that, my mum was a good woman. Do you know what I mean? And she was a realistic, and she would have. But then when I went to her I never touched her the whole time she was in the hospital. I just couldn't because it wasn't her. Mm-hmm. And I sat there and I touched her hand and I said, look, I've made a big decision. I hope it's the right one. And I did feel, she squeezed my hand. So I knew then, do you know what I mean? But then my auntie Bridie and her husband, my Uncle Peter, turned up to the hospital. So I told her what was happening. And I said, I don't want to be here when she goes. And she said to me, I don't want her to die on her own. So I said, no, you're right, I'll stay with her. But then when they turned the machine off there, my Uncle Peter, when I stayed around as a kid, you know when you stay around your mate's house and you can play up and you never get in trouble?
Never.
Not with Peter. He would say, listen here, you little fucker. He's from Dublin. He'd say, listen here, you little fucker. You do that again, I'm going to give you a kick in.
Good idea.
Yeah. I was petrified of this bloke, do you know what I mean? And he was a big, strong, he worked on building sites. He was a big, strong Dublin bloke, do you know what I mean? And when they turned my mum's machine off and it went from like a heart rate was like 140 and it went like a little time 40, 41, 40, 39, 38, all the way down to 0. But then the brain kicks in, doesn't it? So she started to make noises and her eyes started to go. And Peter was stood behind me and he just put his hand over my eyes. And that broke me because someone that I've always been scared of and had in my head as this big, hard, strong Irish guy,
showed his gentleness,
done something so loving that really, really upset me. And then obviously she passed away, bless her, and it was done. But I felt relieved. I was gutted, I was upset, but I felt like a ton of bricks been let off my shoulders. Yeah. I felt a real release over it. Do you know what I mean? And then on the Monday, I went off and joined the army. But I had to come back. No, sorry, tell a lie. So I had to go to court a couple of days after, about a week after, I had to go to court. And I was in the process of joining the army, obviously. And the judge said to me, you should be going to prison for this. However, I've read all the notes. I understand the reason behind it. I'm not condoning it, but I understand it. I also understand you're in the process of joining the army. You're just waiting for a start date, and I'm going to give you a chance, young man. Oh, and he said, have you got anything to say? And you meant to sort of say no. And I said, yes. I said, thank you so much. Like, I said, I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'll be really good. I was like, thank you so much. And then, a couple of days later, I wanted to join the army. But when you join, I was at Basildon I went to. When you join the army, the first 5 weeks, you're not even allowed to go to the shop. Like
so you're just in the barracks?
You're in the barracks, you're in your, you do your training there.
Yeah.
At night time, you're cleaning, you're sorting your locker out, you're ironing, you're polishing boots, you're making your bed, and you're just getting generally fucked about. But what your instructor, your corporal will come in and say, right, one person go to the shop, give him your order. So, and it's not like for chocolate, it's like, can you get me some boot polish? Can you get me some Brasso? It's all that, it's stuff that you need, not that you want, it's stuff you need. But after the first week, I got allowed to go home for the funeral. And I remember I went to see, I had to go to see one of, it was the Sergeant Major, the camp Sergeant Major, or like our division Sergeant Major. And he knew what had happened. And he said, are you going to go and fill this guy in again? I said, no, sir. And he said, because if it was me, I fucking would. He said, however, the way you got to look at it is, if you do anything, not only has you destroyed your mum's life, you destroyed your life. Yeah. He said, so go and do what you got to do and come back. And I thought, yeah, fair enough. And then went and done the funeral, went to the wake, and then jumped straight on the train, went back to camp.
Was that dickhead there at the funeral?
No. I don't know where he is. And I don't want to know.
Hopefully 6 feet under the sky.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah. And do you know what? Even if he didn't die, he would have lived a very sad, lonely life anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give him the headspace. I couldn't give a flying fuck about him. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Whether he's dead or not, whatever.
Yeah.
Completely unimportant person, irrelevant. Then I got back on the train, went back to Basingbourne to basically go back into sort of training. It was like week 2. But then you have to report in the NAFI to like the duty corporals. And obviously I'm in a suit. First thing he said was court or funeral, because most people are either going to court or a funeral when you're in training. So I said funeral. He said, whose funeral? I said, my mum's, corporal. He said, right, go to the bar and have a pint. It's on me. I said, I'm only in week 1. He went, go to the bar and have a fucking pint. It's on me. I was like, thanks. I had that pint. And, done the training. And do you know what? The first 5 weeks, I fucking hated it. I really didn't enjoy it. It was hard. It was really, really hard. Do you know what I mean? But my head, I had a lot going on behind the scenes as well. Do you know what I mean? So my head wasn't fully...
Of course not.
Wasn't fully in it. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I knew it was all I had.
Yeah.
So after you do up to the week 5, you do like kit inspection, you do like physical training, all this sort of stuff, and you get allowed to go home for the weekend. So it's called week 5 leave. Mm-hmm. So I went home on a Friday, and I went to the same pub of all the people I knocked about with, of all the same people, talking the same bollocks, doing the same crap. And I thought, you know what? Fucking, there's nothing here for you. Go back and give it all you got. Like, there's nothing here for you. And I went back, and the instructors were like, have you gone home and swapped with a twin brother? Like, you're a completely different bloke. And I just knew that this is all I got. But then after week 5, you start to do the soldiering stuff. Yeah. So there's a thing called pairs fire manoeuvre. So you're in the field. I joined, and I didn't want to be fixing anything or anything. I wanted to fight. I wanted to be in the thick of it, and doing
killing machine.
Look, they call it killing. Yeah, but I wanted to be in the thick of it, doing it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want something to be happening and me to be either not there or so far back. I wanted to be, if I'm doing it, I'm fucking there. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then passed out of phase 1, and they have different awards. So you got best recruit, best shot, best PT, and best endeavour. And I won best endeavour, which I thought was great. And basically, best endeavour means best mong. We called it best mong. It means you was a complete and utter fucking idiot, but you turned out half decent. But the thing is, on the parade, you march out to the front and get it. And my auntie Bridie was there, and my dad was there, and my Uncle Pete was there. I've never won anything in my life, but not been marched out to the front to collect something. So I was over the moon. Do you know what I mean? But then you do phase 2, which is your infantry training, And that is...
Do you reckon that the phase 1 training is to dehumanise you?
Phase 1 training is to turn you from a civilian to a soldier.
Yes.
And it's just simply that.
Yes.
So it teaches you how to iron, how to polish, how to be told what to do, how to take orders, follow instruction.
Yep.
You know, monkey see, monkey do.
Don't think.
Don't think, yeah, do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brainwashing, essentially.
I suppose so in some
For want
respects.
of a better word.
Yeah. And you're taught as well, you know, you've got 2 ears, one mouth.
Which is of course you've got to do that, because you're taking a human being that has had the world at their feet, choices are abundant, and you've now got to take them down this other path.
Yeah.
And there has to be this period of time.
But if I'm honest, I think more so during that time and probably before my time, most of the people that join the army are from my background.
Yeah.
From a cancer estate, broken homes, had a bit of a shit time, and the only option they've got is prison, job centre, or the army. So you've already got that robustness, and it's just the army are just fine tuning it. They're just moulding you and taking some bits out, adding some parts, and they're just the essentials are there. You're robust, Jack the lad, fairly fit, probably like a bit of a punch up, not scared of confrontation, and the army just mould it. And that's, just jumping ahead a bit, that's why PTSD happens, because say, for example, if someone running here or someone was shooting at us from there, our natural instincts is to fucking run away.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're going against every instinct in your body and you're running towards it.
Yeah.
So everything in your head that's saying run, you're rewiring your own head. You're going towards that threat. And that's what PTSD, that's how it forms, because you're going against all your natural instincts. You're right, more or less rewiring your brain in that situation.
Yeah. Ever thought about that? And how long does it take to be able to run towards it? Do you still have that fear, or did you?
See,
And do you just override it?
There's no time scale in it. You do, obviously, I've done my phase 2 training, Carrick. That was hard. Do you know what I mean? Like back then it was a case of like, you would get a punch. Do you know what I mean? You would get kicked in the head if you fucked up, you know? But you need that. Like, you're going to be a frontline troop. You've got to be able to have that and take that. But you also know that if someone's done that, you fucked up. But you're constantly learning and training. Even when you leave and you get to your regiment, you're constantly learning. Like, you don't come out of training and you turn up to your regiment, you're like, oh, I know it all now. You don't know, Army's just started when you left training. And you learn off people that have been to Northern Ireland in the 80s, the 90s, that have done all sorts of different courses, that have been in the army like 10, 15 years. They're the people, that's when the army starts. You learn off them people. And you never think, right, I'm good enough to run towards it now. When it happens, you either do or you don't. And there's no, right, these people. I've seen people that were always in the pubs fighting and that weren't up for it. And I've seen young lads that have come not long out of training that were having it, that were like 9 stone piss wet, that were having it. And it's like that, you know, if someone breaks into my house, I'll get a baseball bat and I do.
Yeah.
Until you're in that situation, you do not know how you're going to react. Do you know what I mean? And you don't. Until you're there, there's no like, right, I've done all this training and that's it. I'm good. Right, where's the enemy? Show me where they are. It either happens or it doesn't. And even when it happens, there is a part of you that's like, fucking hell, this is a bit fucking leery, innit? You know? And even when you're in the thick of it, they call it a lull in the battle. When things sort of pipe down, you are a little bit like, fucking hell, you know, sparking up a fag, and you're like, fucking hell, this is leery. You know what I mean? This is going off.
Is there moments when you're like, what the fuck am I doing? When it calms down?
After
the battle?
After a fight, we call it a firefight contact or like a firefight.
Yeah.
So after that, when you go back to camp, you get a brew on, you'll have like a cup of tea, you'll have your fag, and you're taking a piss. Oh, you've done this and you've done that, but you'll be talking about it, and that de-escalates it as well a little bit in your head. It's like a form of therapy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're sort of processing it.
You're making fun of the most serious and violent thing a human being can go from.
But that's what the army do, is banter. Do you know what I mean? Like, a squaddy sense of humour is very, very, very dark, but it has to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's not inhumane humour. It has to have that black humour.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be fucking crying every 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Some of the stuff you see and you go through. But then when you look back, like, not so much at the time because I suppose we are jumping forward a bit. When Iraq kicked off, and I couldn't wait to go. I could not wait to go to Iraq. Like, if you're a tennis player, right, and you train every week, you want to go and play a tournament, didn't you?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go and
Yeah.
I wanted my tournament, and that was to go to war. And I could not go. We didn't go there till 2004. And when the war kicked off in 2003, I was fucking devastated we weren't going. Devastated. Like, I was on my knees that we weren't going. And then we had, I think...
So the war kicked off in 2003, and was it just the Yanks then that went over?
No, so when the war kicked off in 2003, it was the Iraq invasion, so it was the Brits and the Yanks. So like the Yanks were in the north, and the Brits were in the south.
Mm-hmm. But it was just your regiment?
No. So what they do is they'll call it like battle groups. So I think it was the Fusiliers, the Paras, and a couple of other regiments went. So it'd be like their battle group went.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a case of, oh, you're not good enough. It's just, right, these are the ones who are in that role, they're off.
Yeah.
And a few of our guys from, because the Fusiliers were short, a couple of guys
from yours went into
went across to that, yeah. And it was just luck of the draw. But people were like at the office saying, are there any slots? Do they need anyone else? But yeah.
So whilst the war's going on and you're not there, is the training ramping up? Are you kind of, you're on tenterhooks because you know it's gonna
it's gonna come eventually.
Yeah.
So I'll just rewind it back a little bit so it makes more sense. So what happened was, I was in the army, done tours of Kosovo and that, and I really wanted to do snipers. I really wanted to be a sniper, because when I was in phase 1, my platoon sergeant was a sniper, and he was like, and I actually ended up as, his name is Daz Williamson. I actually ended up, he was from my regiment, or I ended up in his regiment, and I actually was his number 2 for a little bit.
Wow.
And he was like, Daz was my hero in the army. He was like, it was like Tom fucking Berenger, do you know what I mean? He was cool as fuck. And so I always wanted to do sniper's carder. But when I applied to do it, my officer at the time said, snipers ain't for you. You like doing section attacks and snipers ain't for you. And I was like, fuck you.
What's a sexton attack?
Section attack. So
section attack.
Section attack is, you'll have a platoon and you'll have 1, 2, 3 and 4 section, which is normally 8 guys. 4 in one team, 4 another time, so Charlie and Delta, and say, for example, that starts firing at us, and then you sort of call it pepper pots. You sort of go towards it, and then you break down, so it's an attack.
Okay.
Call it a section attack.
Yeah.
I used to fucking love them.
Did you?
Know what I mean? Yeah, even now, like, I find them sexy. It's great, and it's just full of aggression, you shout, and it's what I joined the army to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To roll around in the dirt and fucking shoot at things and all that. But what happened was, I think it was around 2003 or 2002, I think I'm out in the army, they said, you'd have like a support company, which would have a reconnaissance platoon, Milan platoon, and mortars platoon. So mortars are the big barrels, fire rockets off. Milan, which is now Javelin, we're called the tank busters. They have like a missile that fire tanks. Yeah. And reconnaissance, recce platoon was reconnaissance. Yeah. So quite sneaky beaky stuff. OPs,
drones,
not so much then. Yeah, drones wasn't really like. Drones were just kind of coming in there. Yeah, but I've got a few stories about how they come in Iraq. But it was more like basically hiding in the bush and fucking watching the enemy and logging and reporting. So you use the eyes and ears of the battlefield. Yeah. But you'd always have some people that had done sniper courses that were in reconnaissance platoon. So come in, we need to have a sniper platoon in every infantry regiment. So Daz Williamson and a guy called Mark Spicer run this carder. Got myself on it, and it's fucking nails. It's really hard. It's a very, very hard course to pass. The stalking aspect of it is nails. So when you're stalking, you'll get dropped off. You're given a 4-figure grid reference. Right, this is where the enemy are. And it's sniper on sniper, so it'd be a sniper instructor there. So it's a worst case scenario. And you don't work in a pair, you work on your own on the course. So you'll get into the position, you'll sort of find out the 4-figure grid. You'll try and ping, we call it the OP. You'll ping the OP as quickly as you can, so then you can work out your route in. You'll stalk into the position, you'll take your shot, and then you'll have walkers there, and you'll be in a position, you'll be like, yeah, I'm over it, and they'll stop. The walker will stop, and they'll get on the radio and they'll say, I'm stood within 10 metres of the sniper. They'll scope the ground. Okay, point in the direction of the sniper. They'll scope the ground. Right, I still can't see him. Put your head on the sniper. Put your hand on the sniper's head. They'll put their hand on your head. Nope, still can't see him. Okay, Tim, take another shot, because they want to see if there's any
muzzle flare.
Yeah, or if you call it a stick shot, if all shit comes out from the dirt or whatever, because you're in a shit position. Okay, no, is he aiming at head or chest? That's head. They'll put up the card, put it down. What did it say? A for alpha. Okay, check his wind, the windage on it. Check the range on it. They'll do all that. Okay, yep. But then you've got to come all the way out and get to the pickup truck. So
without getting seen.
Yeah. So once you've done that, they know you're there, and then you've got to extract out and get to the truck. So it's nails. It's hard as fuck. And when I'd done the course, if I hadn't passed it, I never would have done it again. Because if you go in blind, you just run along with it, didn't you?
Yes.
But if to know what to expect, I'd have been like, oh fuck, doing that.
So what, are you in a ghillie suit?
Yeah, it's a ghillie suit, which you make yourself. You make a ghillie suit, yeah.
Out of all the whatever's around.
Mm. So you get like call it a sniper vest. So you buy guys HM, you know HM supplies.
No.
Like at HM stores, like a military store.
Oh, yeah.
That's like Toys R Us for squaddies.
Yes.
Yeah, you go in there, you're like, fucking wow, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, all that shiny. You call it Gucci kit. So you buy like a sniper vest, but then you'll get a load of sandbags, you'll cut them up, and you'll get a glue gun, and you'll glue the sandbags in strips on your vest. Then you'll get like a wire brush, and you'll rag it. It's not neat, do you know what I mean? So you rag it all up. And then what a lot of people do then is you'll leave it outside the block in a bit of grass and let it get pissed on and rained and bird shit on it and stuff for a couple of weeks, so it gets weathered. But it's not an invisible suit, so you might be in a certain area and you'll cam yourself up natural environment with like the local, with like whatever the natural foliage is.
The ferns or the grasses.
But if you come out of that area, you've got to take that cam out, recam.
Redo it.
So it's not a case of, right, I'm cammed up, let's go, because you're going to look different as you go along.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as what everyone thinks.
Sounds amazing, doesn't it, Ben? Doesn't this sound amazing? This is Call of Duty real.
Yeah, but as I said, when I passed the course, I said I'm technically the world champion at hide and seek now.
Yes. Yes.
But there's a lot more to it than that. So you've got all the sniper skills you have to go through, so like judging distance, map reading. Yeah. If you can't map read, there's no point being a sniper.
What sort of distances do you shoot at?
So when I was there, it was an L96 sniper rifle. So you could do harassing fire up to 1,100 metres and a confirmed kill up to 900 metres. But as you learn, it depends on the shooter, on the type of weather it is, and sometimes it's just a bit of luck as well.
Yeah.
But you do all the shoots all the way back as well. So the last part of the course is shooting, and that's really the easy part. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't the best shot on that course, but the sight does it for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you know how to work the grats out in there, you know the windage and the range. Call it sniper's telephone number, like for the windage, depending on whether it's a fresh, medium, or strong wind. Once you learn that, you're fine. Well, what's funny is there's a lot of mathematical calculations you've got to make that, and most of us fucking hated school and couldn't be like, I haven't got a single math qualification, but you've got to work out all these math. I mean, you'd have a little calculator, but you've got to know like the known height times 1,000 divided by the mil-grats equals how much the range is. Little things like that. You got to. It's not just sit there shooting. There's so much that goes into it that people just don't really appreciate.
Yeah. You would never. I've never have thought of that. Obviously, you take the wind into account and the curvature of the earth.
That's right. Yep.
So what do we say to all the flat earthers?
Yeah, trust me, that's not the case.
No.
See, there's a lot goes into it, but once you've passed that course, the pride you feel is immense, because it's known as one of the hardest courses you can pass in the military. Do you know what I mean? And the immense pride you get is unbelievable. But that sniper platoon was like the first time it had ever been formed, so it was a great time.
How many of you were there?
16 of us.
16. So you were brothers then?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like we slept together, we ate together, we fought together, drank together, and went out and fought together. And
The
it was
best.
just, yeah, it was the best time. The best time. But again, it was just, it's the way life is. It was the right people at the right time at the right place. And that's why it was. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people after that tour that we had in Iraq, which we go on to, when we left, were either doing a security work out there or doing reservist tours in Afghan and all that. And I say to them, what we had was unique. You're not going to get that again. Do you know what I mean? It was the right time, the right place, with the right people. And that's what made it what it was.
Is there a part of you that then goes on to try and search for that afterwards?
Yes. Yeah. In all sorts of things, whether it be drink, drugs, women, crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a part. And do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, that I can only speak for me. There's a part of me that will always be in Al-Amara in Iraq. Always. Always. And I made a DVD footage when I was out there, and my ex-wife would never watch it, because she said, I've never ever seen you in my entire life look that happy, smile that much, or laugh that much. And when I looked at it, I was like, fuck yeah. Like I was in my element. It was the best time of my life. But before we went there, we went to Canada. We'd done lots of exercises together, and we were spot on. As a platoon, we were great. We knew each other inside out. We knew who we could count on. It just worked. It was seamless.
It was a machine.
Yeah,
it was a machine.
Yeah, and then we had a new command officer come out, and he's basically got us all in like a sports hall. We say when a new command officer, like the colonel of your regiment or your battalion, turns up, they'll always do like an opening speech, like I'm such and such, and this is where I've come from, this is what we're doing, this is what my plan is, this is what my vision is of going forward. Like when a new director comes to a company, sort of thing.
Sure.
And basically said, in 18 weeks' time, I'll be taking you to Maysan Province, southern Iraq. And we were like, fucking get in there. Yes, we're going.
And this was
2000 and back end of 2003.
Okay.
Because we went in March 2004. We deployed, and then you're doing all your training. So it's like 6 months of full on training. Like you do like a thing called TESX, which is like a little laser equipment. So you can it's as close to battlefield scenarios as you can. Then we done Bathurst. We done OPTAG, which is like a mock-up village in Dover, and you'll have another regiment which are like the Civ Pop. And you'll do right training, you do every kind of scenario. So it just builds you ready for that situation. And then, sort of back in March, we flew out to Iraq. And that's when it all become very, very, very real. And all the training you've done is at last doing it, from my perspective, at last is getting to do it for real. So when we land out into Iraq, you have to do like acclimatization to get used to the heat.
Is it? Absolutely.
Oh, it's fucking unbearable. It's a massive culture shock, like the heat. But not only that, it's not just the heat, it's the kit you put on.
Of course.
You've got your body armour, you've got your day sack, you're carrying about 45, 50 pounds worth of kit.
So you've got to be elite fitness.
Yes.
To be able to just even walk down the street with all of that on.
Yeah, but they call it skills and drills. It's knowing, right, you need to make sure you're hydrated. Do you know what I mean? If your fitness is lacking, go out for a little run. Do you know what I mean? But when the shit, as you sort of turn out there, when the shit hits the fan, like I knew people that weren't the fastest runners, and they could, I'm not the fastest runner, but I could have beat Linford Christie a few times. There was a few times I could have fucking beat any fucker on a 100-metre sprint, no problems at all. With or without, and I'm talking with 45 pound on my back. I could have beaten anyone in a pair of trainers, no problem at all. So you do the acclimatisation and that, and then we went to a place called Simic House, which it was very well documented, that tour that we had at Simic House. They called it the modern days Rock Drift. We ended up under siege 30 days, 30 nights. And the militia were basically trying to storm our camp.
Is that the one you told me about? It was the most attacked unit?
Most attacked, yeah. It was the most attacked unit since the Korean War.
Since the Korean War?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Simic House.
Simic House?
Yeah, CIMIC. Simic House.
Simic
yeah.
House.
There's like loads of like stuff on YouTube about like because a lot of us made footage and all that. There's loads of different things on it. And we called it a tour like no other, and it was a tour like no other. But because it was a peacekeeping tour, it's all like hearts and minds. Well, when we got there, that wasn't the case at all. So we went to a place called Simic House.
So hearts and minds. This is going in and working with the locals and trying to build trust. And we're not here to
cause
kill you and cause trouble. We're just trying to keep the peace.
Yeah, to try and build the city back up.
Yes.
So we were supposed to be training the police, the National Army.
Yep.
Delivering crayons and colouring books to schools. And
so who were you fighting? Who were the army fighting out there? It wasn't the Taliban, was it?
No. So when the war happened, we was fighting the Iraqi army.
Okay.
But then once that had done, in 2004, you had people that were coming up rising. So at the time was a cleric called Muqtada al-Sadr.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was the one that was a cleric and started the uprising against British and American forces.
Right.
Because you've got Sadr City in the north, which the Americans were fighting in.
Yep.
And then in the south, you had like Sadr offices, Muqtada Sadr offices, and it was called the Mehdi Army. And we just called them the Barmy Army. They were fucking lunatics. They would literally just pull an AK out and just spray it, just hoping it would hit you.
Zero training.
And you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, you lunatic? Yeah, am I okay? Yeah, right, let's fucking carry on. Yeah. So we've done the first called a familiarisation patrol. So what it is once you're embedded in your camp, you know what your routine is, you'll go and do a familiarisation patrol. So have a little patrol around the area, see what the crack is. Excuse me. And so not all the platoon come. I think it was 2 vehicles. Danny's vehicle, who was our platoon sergeant, and Daz's vehicle, and I was in Daz's vehicle. So in the snatch vehicles, you've got the top cover, so the guys that were at the top. So I was on the top cover, and we pulled up outside Muqtada al-Sadr's office, which is next to a police station. And so we went to see these coppers and that, and it was just a really bad atmosphere. And then one of the guys sort of got, because you've got like PRR, personal radio, so you can speak to everyone in the team. Mm-hmm. So there's a gunman at the window. So he was like, so Danny said, right, fucking man up, get in the vehicles, let's get the fuck off, let's get out of here. As I'm getting into the back of the vehicle, I just heard this, like this massive explosion, blew me out the back of the vehicle, and then I heard Daz screaming, because Daz had been hit. And what happened was they threw a grenade over the wall, hit Daz on the chest, went under the vehicle, and just fucking went off. So he got all shrapnel in his right leg, and he blew a hole in his foot as well. So I'm on the floor and I'm like, fucking hell. But all the explosions sounded like the ones in training. And I was like, fucking hell, this is real. So I jumped up, me and Danny grabbed Daz by the scruff of the neck, got him into the other vehicle. My vehicle that I was in was just on fire. So Danny's vehicle, there was like, so you got like the 2 sort of buildings there. Our vehicle's here where that's happened. The Mardi office is here, the police station's here, and there's a wall along here, and there's like an alleyway. So Danny's vehicle goes into there. We've got Daz in the back of the vehicle. We're all looking over the wall, and you're kind of thinking, fucking hell. Like, it's literally a baptism of fire, and you're thinking, I can't find my weapon. I'll get in so much trouble. I can't find my weapon. Because you have a rules of engagement card, you can only engage with certain things, like if someone fires upon you.
And someone throwing a hand grenade at you doesn't allow you to shoot.
No, the rules of engagement is, if someone pulls a pin and has a grenade in their hand, they are a threat. The minute that grenade leaves their hand, they are technically no longer a threat on the rules of engagement card.
Fuck off.
Honest to God, yeah.
Shoot the fucker.
Right, yeah. Right. Rules, but you have to follow the rules of engagement, right? Rules of engagement says no longer a threat. So we're all up on this wall, and then Danny spots a Mardi Army gunman climbing over the wall. So Danny drops him and just says, rapid fire! And we just fucking shot the shit out of this fucking building. We were fucking hammering tongs, but not just willy-nilly, like you're firing into windows, you're firing into doorways, you're firing at likely enemy positions. So you're not just praying and spraying.
No.
You're firing in.
Not like the guy from before.
From the car, yeah, like, fucking cheers, mate. So you are firing. But then you're kind of like, fucking hell, like, this is it, we're doing it real. Then we're in this alleyway, enemy effectively there, but then every fucker in Alamara hates us, which we now are quickly realising. So the whole city is starting to bear arms. So we're not only, you call it a 360 battlefield, so we've got people firing at us there, people from the left, people from the right, RPGs are winging down past the alleyway. I remember going to Danny, I was like, Danny, we've just been RPG'd. He's like, I know. And I was like, this is fucking great. Give me a fag. I want to smoke a fag. Let me put my shades on, because you want to do like the cool shit, like mucking about. But then reality hits very quickly. Like, this is fucking. But your adrenaline is fucking above the scale, beyond belief.
Yeah.
And you're so in tune, you're so switched on, it's unbelievable. So we fought our way down the street. We had to come back out the street. The whole of my Land Rover's in the middle of the street on fire. Danny says, "Ads, Chris, we're going to go back to the vehicle and we're going to retrieve the radio systems." Now, this street is fucking alive with rounds.
Your radio systems or theirs?
Our radio system
Yours, yeah.
that's left in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Now, this whole street is alive. Every fucker's shooting at that Land Rover. And I said, I ain't going to get the fucking radio.
These are just normal people.
Yeah, so all the militia that are in that city have come out. Anyone that wants to have a pop at the British, every fucker out there's got an AK-47. The whole city just fucking, the area was in, just uproared and just took arms.
Wow.
So where our Land Rover is here, you've got the offices there, our Land Rover's there, it's on fire, and everyone's just, that road's alive. We're sort of in a little sort of like holding, like behind a wall, and there was a couple of shops here, so we're sort of in cover there, coming out, firing, because we had sort of enemy there to our right and to our left. So Danny says, "Ads, Chris, we're going to go back to the road. We're going to go to a snatch vehicle. We're going to retrieve the radio." I said, "I ain't going to get the fucking radio."
Fuck the radio.
Fuck the radio.
Fuck the radio.
And I looked at Chris, I said, "I ain't going to get that fucking radio." And he went, "No, nor am I, mate." And then he went, all right, bad idea. But it was just, your instinct then is, that is part of your job. Right, our kit's in there, we need to get it. But we'd have fucking been dead. Mm-hmm. The main camp, so we was at Civic House, about 2.5 k's away was the sort of like the main hub, if you like, the main hub called Abanaji. And one of the companies in their C company, they're in the Warriors, which is the fighting vehicles. Mm-hmm. They were basically tasked to come and basically rescue us. And one of the guys in there, Stick, his surname is Broom, so obviously we called him Stick. Now, on uptag, when you're doing training, if there's an incident like a shooting or explosion, you cordon the area off in mine tape, you sort of stand there and sort of guard it, and you do all that, sort of like, you know, take evidence and all that sort of stuff. Chris drives over the bridge in an armoured fighting vehicle and expects guys to be stood there, mine tape on, comes over the bridge, is hit by an RPG, and every fucker's shooting at him, and he was just like, what the fuck is going on here? But it took a while for them to come out, because we were still in the process of handing over from the regiment that had been out there. So it took longer than needs be for them to come and get us. Yeah. And when they got out, they were like, fucking hell. So we're still in this alleyway fighting, and then all the Warriors started to go, because they thought that we'd been picked up. So one of the Warriors is going, and I think it was me and one of the other lads were chasing, going, fucking stop. They stopped, like screeched on the brakes. We all pummeled in the back of this Warrior. And it's supposed to be like 6 in the back. There's like 10 of us in there, like all haggard out. Yeah. And obviously the thirst is unbelievable. So you've got bottles of water in there, in a rack, in the middle of summer, in the middle of a tank. So the water is more or less boiling. So you're guzzling more or less boiling water, but you just need to get it down, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we went back to Abanaji, and then you're like, right, we need more ammunition, we're going back out because we've got to go back to camp, we need this, we need that, and you're just so switched on. But you're like, fucking hell. And that firefight lasted 3.5 hours.
And how was your time perception during that? Did it feel like 3.5 hours?
It seemed like 20 minutes.
Did it?
Even now, when I look back, it feels like 20 minutes.
3.5 hours is a fucking
3.5
long time.
hours, yeah. But we know that because we know the time that we got contacted, and we know the time that we got picked up. And then after that as well, I saw some drone footage of that alleyway. And if that Warrior had picked us up, we'd probably been on the internet getting our heads cut off. That alleyway was swamped. So we was lucky we got on them vehicles. But also as well, I'll never forget this, right? So you have dog tags.
Yeah.
And you're given your own syringe of morphine, right?
Okay.
So if you get injured, I give you your morphine. I don't give you mine because this is my morphine.
Yeah.
Before we went on that patrol, I felt I'd been to the gym or something and I had a shower. When I got back, I'd gone like that. My dog tags and my morphine I'd left hanging on the edge of my bed. And when I got back to camp, I never, ever, ever took them off. Never, the whole tour, I never took them off. What I was doing, never took them off. That I was like, fucking hell, that worried me. Like, you twat. So then we had to drive back to Simic House, and we're getting IED'd on the way there, getting the odd rocket fired at us. But when we got back, because half our platoon hadn't come on that patrol, it was a bimble around town.
It was routine.
Yeah. It was a familiarisation. It was literally go out for a bimble, see what's going on, and come back. None of us expected to be in like a 3.5 hour firefight. But the lads were gutted. They were like, fucking hell. Like, they were gutted that they missed it. Now, at that time, I was glad that I'd done it. But if I never, ever done it again, I'd have been good with that.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit like, don't wish that around me. Like, I'm glad I've done it. I've kind of whetted my appetite now. I'm happy to go over there. Do you know what I mean? And the next morning we had to do a familiarisation, just like a base plate patrol. So you go out, you just do a little walk around camp, just a little patrol, make sure there's nothing been set up or anything like that. I didn't want to go on patrol. I thought to myself, if I've got 6 months of this, fuck this, like, I'm going to fucking die. The best thing I'd done was go on patrol. If I didn't go on patrol, I don't know if I'd have gone back out, if I'm honest. But then you fast forward to take 3 months, and if I hadn't got in a firefight, you'd have the ump. You'd go out and you'd want it to happen, do you know what I mean? And it was full on. Every single fucking day something was happening. We was either being mortared, all day and night we'd be mortared. But while that's happening, snipers would have to be on the roof. So all day and night we're being mortared. Every time you went out, you'd get into a scrap with the town, with someone. And it was just the way it was. But you were just like, yeah, this is it. This is what I joined for. And everyone had that attitude, you know. And everything I wanted to do as a soldier, I'd done out there. But sniping as well. I got a headshot out there. So what happened was on the headshot, there was a team that had gone out on the ground, got ambushed, and they were pinned down. And they had one casualty, someone had been shot in the chest. So he needed to be casevac'd, and the team that was pinned down by a lone gunman. So snipers were told to go onto the roof, so we went on the roof and sort of scanning through, and I just saw, now, as a sniper, I would always aim for the centre of mass, right? Now, when I said I was a sniper, yes, as a sniper, you do want to get a headshot. However, my job is hard enough as it is, right? So I'm not going to make it any harder by aiming for a slightly smaller target.
An ego shot.
Yeah, I'd rather just aim for the centre of mass, and if you get hit with a sniper rifle, you're done for.
Done.
So I'm not going to make my job any harder. All I could see hanging out the bottom of this bush was the foresight, so the front of an AK-47. And I couldn't see anyone behind it, but I knew that, obviously, the weapon isn't firing itself, is it? Someone's pulling that trigger.
So is the weapon on the ground?
So the weapon, so
he's laying down.
So the weapon's sort of just up from the ground, so I could tell that someone, and I could see like a hand on the front.
Yeah.
So I know that they call it the prone position, he's laying down firing. But I couldn't see the fella. So I was like, fucking hell. So I was like, right, rifle's there. He's laying down. So it actually makes the head the bigger target.
Yeah.
So barrel was probably about there, right wind range, took the shot. Well, before that, I said to the Sergeant Major down Norman, I said, Badge, because the Sergeant Major have a big badge, so we called him Big Badge. I said, Badge, I've got a shooter there. He said, if you've got it, Adge, you take the shot. So I took the shot, and I just saw the AK just fall to its left. And I was like, fuck, I got the cunt. Fucking got him.
How long after you've pulled the trigger until you see the gun fall?
It's like it's
Is
straight,
it?
yeah. It's simultaneously. Do you know what I mean? So
At that distance?
Yeah. So it was 827 meters. Took the shot. That fell, and I knew. I just knew as well. And I remember one of the guys in our platoon, Pipes, who's from Mitcham, so he's from South London as well. And we always had a bit of banter. And I laid back and I sparked up a fag and I said, Pipes, who's a fucking daddy, right? And then, and one the guy's team was pinned down is a guy called Daz Wright, who's no longer here, bless him. But he come back and said, yeah, you took the back of that guy's head off. I saw it, and I was like, get in there. And I kept it. I've still got the empty case indoors, actually.
Have you?
Yeah, I kept the empty case, picked it up, put it in my pocket.
What did it feel like? Because you've just taken a life. Didn't matter. just because he was an enemy? Did it ever dawn upon you? I mean,
It does now.
does it?
It does now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does now. I think fucking hell. Like, but that wasn't the first. I mean, on that first firefight, there was a couple that I got there, but at the time, it's just right. Enemy, gunman, threat.
You don't think
Bang.
logical thoughts, do you?
It's done.
It's primitive brain, fight,
Yeah.
flight.
But that's what we do in training. It's called drills. So you're on a range, target up, down, target down, target up, target down. And that's what it was. Target's there, bang, target's done. Move on. Is there any other? Where's the next threat? And that's all it is. But that's all. That's what the army. It fine tunes you. Do you know what I mean? It's drills. It's drills. It's drills. So it desensitizes you without you even knowing it. So I was already desensitized without even knowing it.
Yeah.
It's only now that I've got my own kids and out. I look back. I think fucking hell. That's a big thing to do. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people always asking me that question as well because it's the unknown, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, he might have had a family.
yeah, but do you know what? I don't mean this badly. I don't give a toss if he did or didn't.
Because they're shooting on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And if it's a choice between me or my mates coming home, and a choice of us coming home and him dying, or the other way round, him dying every time, I've not got an issue with that at all. Do you know what I mean? But also, if you start giving him...
Then you're dead.
No, but if you start looking at it like giving him a family, giving him a name, giving him kids, that's going to fuck you up.
Yes.
He was a target, he was a threat, and I got rid of the threat, and that was it. Simple as that.
And I bet you can still smell and hear the wind. I bet
That's exactly 20 years ago. So it's come up to 20 years ago.
Is it?
Yeah, 2004. We're now in 2024, right? 20 years ago. And I can remember everything. I can smell everything like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And like I said, part of me will always be out there to the day I die.
Yes.
Which upsets me now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I came back a different person. I'm a different person to when I went out there. Some for good, some not so good. Do you know what I mean? And what I'm trying to do now is, as I'm getting older, I'm trying to enhance the good from it.
Yeah.
And trying to fuck off the bad.
Yes.
But the bad from it's always going to crop up every now and again. But that's just part of learning through life and accepting that, spotting them little signs, them little triggers. Do you know what I mean? I can see that slipping in a little bit. Normally when things are going wrong. But a lot of the time things go wrong because of me. And I read this in a book, in Ollie Ollerton's book. And it's so true, right? So as soldiers, we get dropped off in the shit to sort it out. Yeah? We get dropped off in chaos. And we have to go and sort it out, get it right. If there's no chaos, I can only talk about me.
You become the chaos.
I'll cause my own chaos. It's almost sometimes it's like, right, life's going really well. Should we spice this up a little bit? How can I make this more interesting?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't think that trait was there before the army at all?
I don't know whether it was or it wasn't. I don't know. I can only go by how I've been since. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I'm not the same. I'm not as happy-go-lucky as I was before I went.
Yes.
Very, very different. Like, I would have a scrap and all that beforehand, before we went there, but it would take a lot for me to get to that point. After that, punch first, ask questions later.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a long period of time as well. I actually sat there, good few years, but I'd been out and I thought, I can't remember the last time I'd belly laughed. I can't remember the last time I really, really laughed.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like even little things like if I'm in a restaurant or a club, or I have to be able to see the door.
Yeah.
I have to be able, but that's a lot of squaddies are like that anyway.
Yeah. I think a lot of, I'm like that as well. I think a lot of men, especially if you're with your kids or something like that, I'll go in and without even thinking about it, you're thinking, right, I could take him, he might be a bit of a problem. There's the door, there's the exit. You just do it. Some men don't do it, but I think that's definitely, there's the protector in us, isn't it, ultimately?
Yeah.
But yours has been turned up to 100.
Yeah.
Yours has been
up to the heightened.
tuned.
Yeah.
It's like going and buying that car and then giving it to the tuners that remap the engine.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but it's a whole new beast.
Yeah.
Wow.
But But I mean, they're just two instances that I can think of. There's 101 firefights that were like that. Like some were. We got ambushed one night down a blue route. So I remember, like, so obviously, Iraq is a Muslim country, doesn't drink. Bullshit.
Really?
Oh yeah. So we were patrolling one night, and but this is what I was. So we was kind of told, right, this is, you go into the ops room and you're told this is the out of bounds area. So say like if the out of bounds area is here, you can't go into this part. We'll walk right up
Along the edge.
Yeah, but a lot of us were like, because sometimes after an incident would happen, we'd get pulled off the ground. Everyone know there'd be no troops on the ground. We kind of wanted to let the locals know, this is our place now. Don't mess about with us. Like, well, you bring it on us, we'll bring it on you tenfold. So it used to annoy us when we was brought back into camp because we felt like we was giving them the upper hand again, you know. So we're patrolling. It was a really nice atmosphere because there'd been a wedding in the town and all this, and people were drinking like hooch, like whiskey, and that. And then you call it a combat indicator. Your gut just goes, boof, something's gonna happen.
Really?
You just fucking sense it.
Sixth sense.
Like spider senses. And this little blue mini flare went up, and Danny on the PRI went, right, lad, stand by. And we walked down this street, and they had an anti-aircraft gun on the left, anti-aircraft gun on the right, and just fucking opened up on us.
What's the blue flare?
It's like a blue little mini flare.
Well, who
that
set
would
that
have
off?
That would have been
Them.
Can I just stop to have a piss?
Yeah. Good. We're back after a leak.
There's a leak. So we're down the street. It's called Blue 8. So
Yeah, I was just saying to you, what was the blue flare? So the enemy have sent a blue flare up
yeah, so
to indicate you're here.
yeah, it's like a sign. So a lot, like, even like other times than that, we'd walk down the street and all of a sudden all the power would go off.
Right.
So like it'd be like a national grid power cut.
Yep.
Lo and behold, just as you're patrolling down an area,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It was very, very coordinated. They wasn't as stupid as people think. Do you know what I mean? They were very, very. A lot of them are very organised. So blue mini flare goes up, which is obviously indicating that we're there. Walk down this street. Anti-aircraft gun on the left, anti-aircraft gun on the right. Open up on us. How the fuck none of us got shot is a miracle. So there's a wall here. Behind that was a graveyard. So we've got cover from that guy on the left. But we're open to the guy on the right. So, and I was written up for this. So I came out into the street to get the guy to fire onto me so I could see where he was. Now, I'm not trying to make, I've done this, I've done that. Everyone done heroic stuff throughout that tour. I'm just talking about what my experience
Yes.
and my time. So I walked out into the street to get the guy to bring his fire onto me, and I took him out. So, but I knew that had to be done. Do you know what I mean? But the platoon that we was in, everyone done stuff like that throughout the tour because we were so highly skilled and trained. We were so good at what we done. No one had to tell me, ads, you're going to have to...
You just knew.
It's got to be done.
That was it.
Simple as that. Then they had cut, we call it, when you do an ambush, so as you walk down, you call it the killing area, you'll have cut-offs front and rear. They then had a cut-offs to the front. They started firing RPGs with CS gas on it, so they were trying to gas us as well. And we had guys to the rear as well. So it was planned, and how none of us died is a miracle. But then you'll get cars that are driving past and they'll put their lights on, so you're shooting the lights. You'll start shooting the street lights. You'll do everything you can to keep you in the dark.
In the dark, yeah.
And then we got back to camp. I think a couple of lads had like holes through like their kit and that, but how none of us...
Did anybody even get hit?
No. None of us got hit on that.
So
Which is a miracle.
These, whatever they were, had worse aim than the stormtroopers in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's basically what we're saying.
Or the A-Team, the A-Team.
Yes.
None of them ever shot anyone, did they?
So, you know when you watch these movies like Rambo and Commando and you're like, there's no way that man could have taken all of them, not got shot. Do you know what annoys me on films though? Like, a lot of like squaddies of this, like they never change a magazine and little things like that annoy me. They've got a pistol and it's had 55 shots. I'm not even in the army. I don't think that's real because I've played GoldenEye and I'm forever fucking take 2 shots. I'm reloading.
That's it. Or in the arcade, you've got to shoot off and you get your bullets. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, but these are just like a lot of people in that platoon I was with, and a lot of people out there from different regiments have done some outstandingly heroic stuff. Yeah. But people just don't know about it because some people are mentioned for stuff, some people aren't. 8% of people out there done things that were that saved lives or made a big difference that no one knows about, really. And if I'm honest, most people wouldn't give a toss about, really. Most people are in their little bubbles, and you learn that when you come back. People are in bubbles. They don't really care what you have or what you haven't done.
No.
And that's nothing against them. That's just the way society is.
Just the way life is.
The way life is, yeah. You know, and yeah, but the whole tour was like that. I could tell you 100. I could bore you with 101 stories over it. Do you know what I mean?
But do you know the thing I find fascinating, Adam, is I'm looking at you recalling this, and it's though you're not looking at me. You're there.
Yeah,
You're there.
yeah,
You're there.
yeah,
Your eyes are there,
yeah,
but they're not there. They're back there.
yeah,
And there's a graveyard here, and there was this, and there was that. And do you know what I mean? It's 20 years ago.
yeah. But like I said,
And it's there.
there's a part of me that will always be there, always to the day I die, which I find quite sad now. I can recall that situation, every last detail, 20 years ago. I couldn't tell you what I'd done last week.
Really? So your short-term memory with things is now
Yeah.
been massively affected.
Yeah.
But do you think for you, and I'm not saying this for every man or every human being, you've lived the pinnacle of what you were designed to do?
Yeah.
And how many people can say that?
And do you know what? And like, when I come back for Iraq, and a lot of us, like, I got in loads of punch-ups, loads of fights. I lost my rank in the army. I ended up saying, like, fuck you, I'm off, and really struggled. And do you know why? Do you remember when Tyson Fury won the heavyweight title first time round and he went fucking bonkers? He'd done what he wanted to do. What now? I'd been at the pinnacle of my army career, done stuff that people had never done. It was like,
It is the biggest
What's now?
letdown ever.
yeah,
And that's why you see footballers going off the rails once they retire. Any athlete, you know, particularly, and I don't know for sure, but anybody that's been in those kind of gladiatorial type things.
yeah. And I always say, because I've boxed all my life, so I know a lot of people that have turned professional, and I find boxers, ex-boxers and ex-squaddies exactly the same mentality when they retire or leave. Same mentality, because it's that, like you said, that gladiator arena sort of thing. But when you've been in a situation where your adrenaline is fucking flying high, everything else after that's a bit.
Yes.
Like, I'll go on a roller coaster and I'll be like, is this it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only now I look back and that's the one thing I'm angry about, or I'm upset that little part of me's gone. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be enough.
Nothing. It's almost like you've used up all of your excitement and all of your exhilaration. It's all gone now.
And all my lives.
Fucking hell.
I've got no more lives
you
left.
must be a cat.
Yeah.
Did you ever get hit?
No, I've got little bits and pieces, but nothing.
Never got shot.
No.
Fuck.
Thank God, touch wood.
So when you were out there, from a layman's point of view, what's your objective? What are you trying to do out there? The whole time you were out there, was it wipe as many of them out as you can? What's the mission?
So as I say, we went out there with the objective of hearts and minds, try and build up the city, try and build it back together. But when it goes out and it goes like that, and the Mahdi army are more or less in control, it's a lot like now in Afghan with the Taliban, or like, you know, it was with the Taliban and that. You've got to hit the ground, you've got to gain as much information, and you've got to try and flush them out. So it went from, we actually had a brigade commander that come out and said, you know, the rules of engagement card I was telling you about. He said, everyone take them out, put them in the bin. He said, you're no longer on a peace team because this is a war fighting tour. So that's how bad, you know, things changed. It was.
So that's license to kill.
Yes and no. It's a case of, you're not here doing peacekeeping. This is war fighting. So your rules of engagement
Are different.
You know when to and when not to shoot as a professional soldier, which you do.
Can you blow the bloke's head off that's just released a grenade? Please say yes.
It's kind of, there are little things that changed it. So like, we call them dickers. So if the camp's being mortared, you'll see someone on a bridge on a mobile phone.
Okay.
And he'll be saying, right, okay, you need to add 50 metres or you need to drop 50 metres. Rules of engagement, you can't. Now, he does not have a weapon in his hand, but his weapon is a mobile phone and he's coordinating that attack. Wow. So he is a threat. So once the things changed out there, we could start engaging people like that, taking people like that out.
I mean, And again, maybe I'm completely naive, but I don't think I'm as naive as I'm making out. I don't think many people understand those types of things as rules of engagement.
No.
I mean, the guy's calling mortar shells in, but you're not allowed to shoot him if you're under peacetime
Conditions, yeah.
Which is madness, isn't it?
It is madness, yeah. But you've got to bear in mind as well, the army are in a spotlight in them situations.
Of course they are.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of it is for, one, to do the right thing. Two, a lot of it's press. A lot of it's from what Downing Street say. I actually went on that first firefight, the radios wasn't working. We had to use a satellite phones called Whitehall because the radios weren't tuned in. Because that first patrol, the radios weren't tuned in.
So who was at Whitehall?
So we were on the sat phone. It was like calling like an operator. It's like, hello caller. It's like, yeah, this is Alpha 10 Alpha. I'm at Yellow 3. Can you patch me through to Arch Room? One moment, caller.
Fuck
Well, like, what's going on? I'm on hold.
Lift music? No way.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm on hold. Yeah, that's gospel. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, tell me about Piers Morgan.
So yeah, when we was out there, so you had the Americans in the north and us in the south. So whatever happened with the Americans, so like at that time there was Najaf was kicking off back big time, and Sada City. So everything that would happen there, it would slowly trickle. So there was a massive battle there on a Monday. Guaranteed by Wednesday we'd start getting our asses spanked a little bit. During that time, Piers Morgan was the editor of the Mirror, and he'd done these propaganda pictures of like some prisoner that had been blindfolded. There's a squaddy there. I think urinating on him or holding a pistol to him. The kid's got like an Iraqi t-shirt on, and it was basically saying of us mistreating prisoners of war. Turns out that it was all staged, and it was done like in a room like this. But what people don't realise, and what Piers Morgan doesn't realise, is that so like that sort of stuff. Yeah. But what Piers Morgan doesn't realise is the backlash that we get when we're out in country from that. Everyone
Now hates you.
now hates us.
Yeah.
So
So all that hard work that you've put in has now been completely and utterly destroyed
Yeah.
because of this.
So, like for example, if we was attacking this building, started firing at us, and we attacked that building, if there's a building next door, an innocent family, once that firefight's finished, we go and make sure they're okay. Do you need water?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Has there been any collateral damage? We apologise. Sorry for the noise. Do you want some water and that? But that now is forgotten about because they're going to see this.
And this was all brought out, and he lost his job, didn't he?
He did,
as
yeah.
editor.
Yeah.
Because of this.
If I ever saw Piers walking down the street, I'd pull him on it and ask him about it, and I wanted him to know the effects that had.
Yeah.
I know he's very much, like for the forces and all that, and maybe he knows it was a mistake, which I'm
Have
sure
you ever
he does.
seen an interview or anything with him where somebody's pulled him up on this?
I think he was asked on something, but even like with the phone hacking thing, he just avoids it.
Yeah,
didn't he?
he's slippery.
Yeah.
He's slippery.
But if I did see him, I'd pull him up on it and ask him about it. Yeah, 100% I would, and I've got every right to.
Of course you have, because he's putting your lives at risk.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're in a war zone, and your life's at risk anyway, but this is adding another layer on.
Yeah. It's like throwing petrol on a fire.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. It's disgusting. And that was, what was that? Was that 20 years ago?
Yeah.
2004, yeah.
2004,
Saturday,
yeah.
May the 1st, 2004. That's the front of the Daily Mirror.
Yeah.
Vile. But this time it's a British soldier. So were the Americans being accused of this as well at some point, if I remember rightly?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's always going to be stories about the Yanks, but there's always going to be stories of treatment of prisoners of war. I think there was like the El Swadi 20-year inquiry that Phil Shiner, the human rights solicitor, made up a load of bullshit, and a lot of my friends were involved in that inquiry. There's always going to happen. There was actually solicitors going out to Iraq handing cards out. Have you got any stories about the British soldiers?
No way.
Yeah. So, like everyone thinks, it's for Queen and country and all that. I done what I done for my mates and my regiment and the people I'm with. I didn't do it for any fucker back here. Like I'm talking about like politicians or I didn't do it for any of them. Do you know what I mean? Because they're condoning stuff like this and it's not being pulled up on. But we're scrutinised over every little thing, and Like in America, when you go home, you're treated like a hero.
Yeah.
You come home here, you're not treated like that at all. Like a lot of the stuff that we do when we leave the army, like the help you get is from each other. So like a couple of jobs, like when I was working on a job, a mate of mine from the army's in there. There's a job here, do you want it? Yeah. I was on a job. Lee, there's a job here, do you want it? Yeah. You help each other out when you get out. There's no real, it's getting better, but we help each other when we're out. There's no sort of like place we can turn up and say, oh, I need help, or you can, it is getting better, but there's not as much help as there should be, and there's not as much stuff that's happening for forces as there should be, especially like guys that are coming out. Like, we're going back to when I was in training, right? It takes you 6 months to go from a civilian to a soldier, but you're a civvy the next day. Doesn't work.
No.
There has to be a transition period the other way around.
Of course.
So, like when you sign off and you leave the army, you sign a bit of paperwork, say I've had enough, like I want to sign off, and you have to serve a year. So you do like a year's resignation, and that year you do all the shit duties, you do all the guard duty, all this. You're going. No one gives a toss about you. Do you know what I mean? You're going. So if there's any guard duties, if there's any crap job that needs to be done, you're doing it. What I believe that happens is the minute you sign off, you handle your uniform in, you only wear civilian clothes, and you go and learn how to write a CV, how to apply for your local doctors, how to write a covering letter, how to conduct yourself in an interview, how to budget, how to work out what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? And the army also put money away for you as well. So when you leave, you've got a little bit of bunts in your pocket as well. But it's them little things that, look, I was like 17 and a half when I joined the army. I didn't know my era from my arsehole, really. I didn't know what life is.
No.
And then I'm spat out like
At the other end.
at the age of 28, but I'm still that 17. And in civilian terms, the way the civvy world works, I'm still 17 and a half. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know how to. If I'm sick, I go to the med centre and I'll get sorted out.
Yep.
I don't know how to apply for I don't know how to register for a doctor. I don't know a CV. I was trying to get a security job. Have you got an SIA licence? I've done that.
What's that?
I've just done nearly 10 years in the army, like on operational tours. Like, I think I know quite enough about security. What do I need a licence for? They do things like that. Do you know what I mean? And I think that year, what they should do. They should do that, but get people to come in that have been on Civvy Street and say to guys, don't do this. Don't do this course, because there's courses you get chucked on that are a fucking waste of time. A lot of people do the close protection courses, right? This will make you laugh. So you get given money. So you get given a budget when you're leaving. So I said I'm going to do a close protection course, the Ronin course in South Africa, which is really expensive. It was like $2.5 grand. So the army gave me $2.5 grand. I ain't doing that course. I'm going to New York for a long weekend. So I took the $2.5 grand. Took the $2.5 grand and went on holiday for a week, right, to New York. But I kind of fucked it for everyone else. Everyone now has to pay for the course and get the money back, but before you get given the money. Oh, wow. But I just thought it doesn't matter what course I do. I'm not going to get a great job or anything. I'm not going to be qualified in it. No. I'd rather go on a fucking holiday. So I've done exactly that. I went to New York. Had a great time.
I think the other thing as well is, I mean, how long were you out in Iraq for? So over the period of time that you were in the army, how long were you actually?
About 7 months.
About 7 months.
Yeah. But all in all, it's about a year, the whole process. Because you're it's like 6 months beat up training for it, and then you're there. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you got the 6 months build up to it, both physically, mentally, and making sure you're on the ball. And then you've got the 6 months of it, but then you've got probably another 6 months when you come back trying to
decompress,
de-escalate as well. And that's why, like that, this is my opinion. I think that's why there's so many soldiers that do sort of commit suicide, because when you go on them tours, you write a will, you plan your funeral, you kind of get ready for the worst case scenario. So you're already desensitized from that.
Yeah.
So when things aren't going right, and I've been there as well. I've been in situations where I've just thought, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to pull the pin. I'm going to pull the pin on this. I've had enough. Because you've been geared up before that if you come back in a box. So you're kind of a bit like, it's a bit blasé.
You're almost dead.
You're so desensitized from yourself from it. It's like nothing.
And you're not scared of it.
No. That's why that happens. Yeah, exactly that.
And these are the things that no normal person has any idea that you guys go through.
No, they don't. Do you know what? Like, that's part of the reason why these things are important to sort of explain in sort of cases. But do you know what? I'm not saying poor me, like far from it.
No.
It was my job. I joined it. I wanted to do it, and I'm glad I done it. But I'm also saying as well, there is this other side to it. But there's also a side to it out there. Like we're not out there just praying and spraying and shooting anything. You know what I mean? There is thought process behind it. Do you know what I mean? We're not
Highly skilled.
Yeah, exactly that. Highly skilled, highly trained individuals that work in the worst case scenario. And it's like when you're out there, you have to be like the Matrix. You have to like slow it all right down. Don't panic. Stay calm all the time. Do you know what I mean? And that's very, very difficult to do. Do you know what I mean? You have to be highly trained for that. And people don't understand that. We're not just out there running around playing soldiers. Do you know what I mean? But people don't understand, like I've explained, why most people join the military. What happens when you leave the military? Like, it fucks you. It does. Do you know what I mean? If my boys wanted to join the army, I'd be heartbroken.
Would you?
I'd be devastated. Because I join the army as the only option. They will have options. That won't be the only option for them. But I don't... you know, like any parent, I want them to be doctors or solicitors, but I want them to do whatever they're happy. Do you know what I mean? Like we said earlier, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life, do you?
Correct, yeah.
And I want that for them. I don't give a fuck what it is. As long as they're happy, they're secure, they're loved, and they're happy. That's all I care. But if they said, "Dad, I want to join the army," I'd be like, "Oh, fucking don't." I would be heartbroken. I would. But if they did, you can't stop someone doing what they want to do.
No.
But I'd sit them down and say, right, this is what you need to be prepared for. Do you know what I mean? Not like these sexy videos they show at the careers office. This is what it's going to be like.
Yeah. On the radio.
Yeah.
I was brought up in such and such, but I was made in
Yeah. Army be the best.
Yes.
We should say army be depressed.
Yeah. For fuck's sake.
Like, do you remember Frank? The adverts of Frank? In the army, he said this guy called Frank, and he'd always be like water surfing, or like he'd be in a room with this gorgeous chick, and he'd have to hide on the ceiling and all that sort of stuff. Well, yeah. So we always just say, "Fucking, I didn't join with this shit. I wanted to be Frank. I've never been windsurfing in my life."
No, I don't remember Frank.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty wank.
Yeah.
Is this him? Don't play the sound because we get it taken off. Is this him?
I think this is like Frank's mates that are like bored. Yeah, there's
Oh,
Frank.
yeah,
Like,
skiing.
Yeah,
Oh,
skiing.
yeah.
Yeah. Frank, yeah,
There
there
he
he
is. So it's it is well, look, at the end of the day it's glorifying it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you show them the harsh realities.
But even me watching that now, I'm like, fuck, I'd love to
Let's
do
go.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it like?
See, look, I've never done that
You've
once.
never windsurfed.
Never done that once in my life.
And you certainly wouldn't be that good. You done that?
Yeah, done that, yeah.
Abseiling, is it? Is that what
Abseiling,
it's
yeah.
called? Yeah. So who's the depressed guy? Is that Frank when he comes out?
That's Frank's pals back home.
Right. Oh.
So they're trying to say,
yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, like sat on a
Sat in the
dole,
coffee
a
shop
cafe.
with your missus, yeah.
And Frank's having a great time.
Wow. So what's it
I
like
think
when
Frank's
you
the only one in the army to do windsurfing, actually.
and skiing? Where's the ski? Where's the snow? In the white James Bond outfit. So when they tell you it's done, it's over, it's finished. How long is it then until you come back from Iraq? What's the?
So you know basically you get 2 weeks R&R in between, so you get 2 weeks even between. Main reason for that is if you're out of the country for 6 months, don't pay any tax, do you?
No.
So we'll send you back home for 2 weeks, and you can't claim your tax back. Yeah. And then you know roughly the dates that you're coming back. But before you come back, like you'll start decompressing a little bit. So you'll come out of where you're operating, the new lot will come in. You'll do like a handover to them, and you just start.
Do you go home?
What?
Like home?
What, when you come back? Yeah. So we come back. There was like a big parade because it was such a historic tour. It was in the papers. Like there was like the stuff that I'd done. There's a book out about it already. So it was a big welcome homecoming, and then I went back to my dad's house. He's with his girlfriend, and I think we come back in November, bonfire night. Fireworks, so you can fucking imagine, can't you?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I was actually playing squash with my dad, and there was a thunderstorm, and this big clap of thunder went, and I actually hit the deck. And my dad's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, nothing. I thought I'd drop 5p on the floor." Like, yeah.
Yeah, wow, fucking hell.
Yeah, so you come back bonfire night, which is, so if if you went to a display, you kind of expect it. But if one just went off, you'd be like,
you're like,
fucking night. Where's that right contact left?
Yeah.
And then it was Christmas, and yeah, you're on the piss. You're on the piss when you come back. You're on the piss hard, and you kind of like the happy to be alive game. Do you know what I mean? And it's exactly that. You're just happy to be alive, but you're so like you've lived life to the extreme. So you want to go out and get pissed. Do you know what I mean? And get a lot of stuff out of your system. You know, and that causes a lot of carnage as well. Do you know what I mean? Because with drink becomes violence and becomes other stuff and become you being a fucking dickhead and you have all that stuff to go through as well.
And you've got such a short fuse. And you are trained.
But you also think it's everyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you kind of you'd never be up your own arse, but you kind of want to be like, don't you know what I've just fucking been through?
Yes.
If I want to fucking get pissed downtown till 4 a.m. and have a punch up, I fucking will.
Yes. Yeah. Because of what I've gone through.
Yeah.
For you fuckers.
Yeah. And you don't mean to be like that, but
No.
it can come across like that. Do you know what I mean?
I can absolutely see how that would happen. I mean, you've gone. I mean, it's almost a mirror image of the stock market, the stock exchange kind of guys, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Earning all the money, thinking this, that, and the other. Out with the normal people, they've got that not sense of entitlement, but that this is me, I'm this, and you're just a normal person. And then you've gone into the army, and it's the same kind of feeling, isn't it?
And that's why you struggle as well when you come out, because you've got no identity anymore. Do you know what I mean? So my identity was ads, sniper, soldier.
Yes.
Been to war.
Yes.
Been in the papers.
Yes.
Been in books, been in documentaries. Now it's like Mr. Summers.
And nobody.
No one. Mr. Summers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's you just lose complete sense of identity. You don't know what your worth is, and that's what I'm saying. Like I was like 28 years old. I'm 17 and a half. Do you know what I mean? I was in Iraq at 20. I've done all that at 22 years of age in Iraq.
And the world's changed as well. In those 10 years, the world has changed.
Yeah.
How people communicate, how people date, how people live their lives, the technology, it's all changed.
Yeah.
And although you are having periods of time where you're coming back, you're out of that loop.
Exactly.
You're out of that system.
Yeah. But when you first come out, you have to remember that I'm not on leave. I'm actually out of the army now. So, do you know what? I better stop drinking and actually start looking for a job, getting myself together. Because in the army, if I spent a month's wage in one night, I'm still going to get fed. Still got somewhere to live.
Yes.
One of the lads will take me on a piss.
Yes. Now all of a sudden, you can't pay your mortgage.
Yeah, I've got rent to pay, TV license to pay. Like, do you know all these things that you never think of? You know, like phone bill to pay, internet, food. I can't I can't be a payday millionaire anymore. You know, and that's what I'm saying. That's why they should do that. It takes you 6 months to go from a civvy to a soldier. It should be the same process on the other way out.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I can't believe nobody's thought about this and tried to implement something.
Yeah. I wrote to, a couple of years ago. I wrote to my local MP because I was living in Sutton at the time. So it was Tom something, Liberal Democrat. I can't remember his surname. I wrote to him a couple of times and said I'd like this process put in place, but he never heard anything back. James Mercer, that Veterans MP, he's trying to do a lot. Like, he's trying to do some good stuff, you know. But I think, like, do you remember, like after World War II, it was quite common to see people with arms and limbs missing and legs missing and all that. And it's like that now because of Iraq and Afghanistan. It's quite common to see like young lads with a limb missing. Do you know what I mean? But there's a backlash. I always remember my granddad was in Paris in World War II, and he always used to say, "Don't slam that fucking door, no matter what door it was." He used to go mental. Now
that was why. Now you know why.
I get it. Yeah. And I wish I could have had that conversation with him. Do you know what I mean? If he died just as I was joining, I wish I could have had that conversation. Like, I get it. I understand it. Yeah. And what I've learned is I speak to any soldier from any area, you're exactly the same. No matter how old they are or when they're in, you're exactly the same mentality. That you just get it. Do you know what I mean? I can spot a squaddie walking down the street a mile away.
Can you?
Yeah.
Just from the way they carry themselves?
Just the way they carry themselves, the way they are. Just little, you just know.
You just know. It's that gut.
Yeah, which is very handy when you're in a pub and someone's blagging at them and bullshitting, trying to pretend that they're in the army.
Yes.
Oh, was you, mate? What was you
Stolen
in?
Valor.
Yeah, Stolen Valley. Yeah.
Yes.
Water mitties, we call
Dickheads.
them. Waters, yeah.
What do you call them?
Water mitties.
Water mitties.
Yeah. Oh, was you, mate? What was you in? What was it like? Oh, wow. Tell me your stories. It must be really exciting.
Does it not piss you off?
It
bit.
used to, but now I find it. I just find it funny. But a lot of them have probably got their own issues. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So maybe they're just trying to fulfill something they feel they didn't. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to live another life. But it's like, as we said, the older and wiser you get, the more you kind of. Whereas before, I'd chin someone like that pub, but now I kind of think, do you know what? You don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? That's what people need to remember as well. You never know what someone's fucking going. What's going on for someone? Do you know what I mean?
Don't take things personally when you have got no idea what's going on. It's often more to do with them than it is to do with you.
Exactly that, yeah.
You know,
exactly
it really is, and it takes a while to understand that. So tell me about Adam the Civvy then. How do you feel day to day? Are you up
Adam
and
the Civvy is
down?
fucking horrendous. There's a picture on social media of, you know, when Johnny Depp plays the Mad Hatter and he's sat at a tea party and there's a caption underneath that says, I'm doing quite well in Civvy Street. It's a little bit like that. I really, when I first got out, every week I was going to go back. I'm getting back in. I've had enough. I'm getting back in. I've had enough. It's a very, very bumpy road. It will be shit for a bit and then it goes great. And then it goes shit, and then it goes great, and then it goes shit, and then it goes great. But the reason why it goes shit is, like I said before, sometimes I'll cause my own fucking chaos. Because when things are going really well, I find it boring. Which upsets me. Do you know what I mean? I can't. My ex used to say to me, you find normal life boring. That's probably the only thing that I actually agree with her on. But yeah, it is. I had a big battle with drink for a little while.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I was pissed every fucking night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Got sacked from a few jobs, from either just fucking it off or going in and fucking chinning someone. But again, I left school at 28. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all that stuff you've done between 16 and your sort of mid-20s, I started from 30, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I started that process at 30, so I was like 15 years behind everyone in that aspect, do you know what I mean? And it's just learning stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, people don't have your back on Civvy Street like they do in the military.
No, nobody gives a fuck about
No one gives a fuck. But not only that, like, I'm a manager now and I've done quite a few managerial jobs. If I say to Joe Bloggs in the army, go and do X, Y and Z, I know it's done.
Yeah.
I say to someone on Civvy Street, go and do it, and then I'm in trouble. Why isn't that done? Oh, but I'm not used even now to asking someone to do it and have to check up on it, because in the army, you know it's done. Do you know what I mean? But on Civvy Street, it's not like that. And people, there's no integrity as well. Do you know what I mean? If you fuck up in the army, you say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I was a dickhead. I hold my hands up to that."
Yeah.
Civvy Street, they won't do that. They'll fuck you over.
Of course they will. They'll lie and squirm. Never hold their hands up.
And I say to every job I'm at, I say, if I fuck up, I'll put my hands up.
Yes.
But if I've done something really well, I'll be the first to tell you that as well.
Of course. Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
It does. So how's your mental health currently? Up and down?
I'll be honest with you, from probably mid-November till probably about 3-4 weeks ago, I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
It was in a bad place. I left the job that I was at. I'm not with my kids every night anymore, which has killed me. I realised that it was going to be the first Christmas without them, and I love that. But like, I'm like Elf during Christmas. I love it for the kids. You know what I mean? I make it so important, and I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't get my kids what I wanted to get them, and it broke my heart. Do you know what I mean? I was in some really, really dark spots.
How old are they?
I really was. Well, Harry, my oldest, he'll be 13 next month. His birthday's the day before mine.
Which is?
26. His is 26th of February, mine's the 27th. So yeah, best birthday present I've had in my life. And my youngest, Ted, he'll be 9 in the summer. He's 8, and he's a fucking nightmare. I say to my oldest, I say, it's a good job you come in this order, because if Ted was first, you would not be here, mate. You would not be here. He's a fucker. But what's funny is my oldest looks like me, but he's very much like my ex-wife. My youngest looks like her, but he's very much like me. I'm like, I fucking know where you're going, mate.
So what was Christmas like?
Christmas was absolutely shit. I wanted it over and done with very, very quickly. I was gonna stay where I'm staying. If anything come on with Christmas, I'll turn it off. If I was in the car and I turn that, I don't want it. I don't want to know it's Christmas. I stayed with my auntie Bridie, because her and her kid, like Amanda, James, Gary, and Erin, they're my brothers and
They're your
sisters.
family,
Yeah, and like their kids were there, and it was great. Do you know what I mean? But like I wasn't feeling it. But then on Boxing Day, I went and saw the kids. I knew that they were all right. I knew that they had a good Christmas. And then I was like, right, I'm all right now. Do you know what I mean? And then I really loved it there. And then when I left my auntie Bridie's, go back to mine, it was shit, because it was like, I'm
Deflated.
yeah, like I'm on my own again.
Yep.
You know? I started a new job this week, which is really, really good. Do you know what I mean? And the guy that took me on is an ex-squaddy, so he gets it. Do you know what I mean? We get each other. Do you know what I mean?
That's site manager, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, when you're getting somewhere, you're like, oh, this is all right. Do you know what I mean? You know? And I'm kind of, which is probably good for everyone, I'm kind of left alone a little bit. So there's no threat of me getting annoyed by anyone or or getting the do you know what I mean? But a lot of it as well, my mental health is, I find, and I can only speak about my experiences, is that I'll dwell in it sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's when I stop training, when I stop running, stop going to the gym, that's when it all comes to light very, very quickly. The minute I get up, start like today, went for a run, when I've done a load of press ups, chin ups, sit ups, and all that sort of stuff, and I've been doing it again. Like, really started this week, doing it every day.
It's the booze and physical activity.
Yeah, and food.
Eating shit. Yeah.
Eat shit, feel like shit.
But do you not find that if you're not boozing and you're doing some physical activity, you don't eat shit?
Exactly that, yeah.
But you can eat shit and go to the gym, but you'll still booze sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm the same, man.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking same.
So I'm like, obviously I went to a party New Year's Eve. Fuck me, did I party?
So did I.
Fuck
me, did I party?
Yeah. They had a karaoke machine. I'm like, I ain't singing. Couldn't get me off the fucking thing. Couldn't get me off. Oh, play this one. They're like, oh, get off the machine, mate. But then New Year's Day, I sort of chilled out, and I just thought, right, new year, new job. Christmas is done.
Yep.
To me, it's all about being a good dad, a good person, a good man, and just being accountable for stuff. Do you know what I mean? And stop burying in my head. Do you know what I mean? If like bills come through the door and all that, so I'm like, oh fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Just it's just got to face up to stuff. But it's all getting up, having a routine, getting up, going for a run, doing little bits and pieces. Like I do little spiritual prayers and that. Do you know what I mean? Just to try and talk to the universe or whatever. I do believe in that sort of stuff. I do believe if you bring good on, it will come on to you. Do you know what I mean?
What's your date of birth?
27th of the 2nd.
Come on.
What's this?
You watch this. It'll blow your mind.
Really?
Yes. Yes, it will. What is it? 20 February?
Yeah.
1982.
82.
4 years younger than me. Or 3. Yeah, because you'll be 43, won't you, this year? Oh, yeah. 82.
Don't put years on me, Ben. I've got to. I look old enough as it is.
So I didn't believe in all this bullshit, and I don't know if I do or not. But then someone told me to do this, and what came up was absolutely right. So that's your life path number. You're life path 4.
What does that mean?
Just read it.
They will achieve success later in life by working hard. Patience is important. No patience. They say that snipers need to be patient, but I'm not, because you have to be disciplined, so I can be disciplined. Patience is important. That people are practical, so they do not prefer activities. Christ almighty. This what should be learned. Beware of carelessness and narrow view of life. People should be careful when they are. Christ, that's scary. That is scary, isn't it?
I'm telling you now, when I did mine.
That is scary.
And you can go much deeper into that. So you'll put your name in and things like that. It's all Chinese numerology. A good friend of mine now that I'd never known before, met him a few months ago for the first time, but we'd been talking for a while. He's massive into it. And we sat down and he said, tell me your date of birth. And he went, yeah, I thought you were. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you're life path 3. I said, what the fuck does that mean? He said, just trust me, you are. And we were supposed to meet. We'd gone out for a meal, me and another guy, so there was 3 of us. And at the end of the night, the original guys snuck off and paid the bill. Middle of London, on the Strand. It's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm driving back, and I get a text message. It says, have a look how much the bill was. £333.33. And he said, I told you were life path 3.
333. Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off. Whatever. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was sat in bed. I've had a few times in my life where something has told me to do something. One of them was when it dawned upon me that my wife was having an affair, but this was 2 years before we actually found out. One of them was a few nights after I didn't quite follow through with committing suicide. And one of them was 2 weeks ago. It said, do your life number. So I typed it in and I read it and I was like, fuck.
That's what I was on that, yeah. It's scary, isn't it?
Now, 2 months before, I met somebody that is very special to me now. And when that person did their life number, guess which 2 life numbers are a perfect match? A 3 and a 1.
3 and a 1.
And that's exactly that. So I'm thinking, this is too fucking weird. This is too weird. And every single person that we've gone and done that to, they've sat there, they've gone, fuck me, that's me.
It could have said, Adam is...
There you go. And mine could have said,
Ben is.
Nick is.
Nick is, yeah.
Yep. So, look, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know, but it's not fucking... There's no coincidence that I'm here now because of things that have happened. It just had to have happened that way.
Yeah, no,
I
I do believe now that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why when I was in a shit time from November till up to a couple of weeks ago, you got to go through pain to grow. And once you've gone through that pain, but you got to go through that pain and say to yourself, get a fucking grip. Do you know what I mean? All this man up stuff, you shouldn't have that, but you've got. I have to internally say to myself, get a fucking grip. Stop wallowing in your own pity.
Yes.
And start fucking sorting yourself out. Start eating good again. Stop the booze. Start training. And you train, you feel good. You eat, you feel good. Do you know what I mean? And like this year, I'm not made a New Year's resolution, but this year there's things I want to do. I'm in the process of writing a book. There's a script that's been written about all the stories that I've told you about, and I want that done. But what I said, like I said to you before, I don't want it all to just be like gun ho. I want a story of why people join the army. I want like an episode of a mum and dad whose kid is in Iraq, a wife and kids, what they're going through while their loved ones in Iraq. What happens to a normal family in Iraq that are just stuck in the middle of a fucking war zone? Do you know what I mean? Just trying to go about their normal life. What happens to them? But then what happens after all that's happened and you've left and you're trying to make your way on Civvy Street? Do you know what I mean? I remember when my granddad come out of the army and he went for an interview. He was in a parachute regiment. She said, all right, you come out of the army, what can you do? He said, I can jump out of an airplane, shoot you, blow you up or drive you somewhere.
So he became a stuntman.
Yeah. He works in a bakery.
Mad, isn't it?
But yeah, this...
it almost sounds as though prisoners get more rehabilitation than soldiers.
Yeah, they do. 100%, yeah. 100%, yeah.
So somebody that's gone and committed a crime...
will get better treated.
Gets treated better than somebody that's gone and fought for their country.
Yeah.
Which is not right.
No, it's not right. But there's lots of things that ain't right. Like
there are. Yeah.
That soldiers don't get treated well at all. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not here to sort of say, oh, soldiers get this, soldiers get that. There are lots of people in this life that don't get what they should do. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe that if you've gone and done that and you've been to a war zone in a war situation and you're coming out, you should be given a little bit of a head start on certain things. Like they should say to you when you leave, right, would you like to be a fireman, policeman or an ambulance service person? Because if so, you can go straight to front of the queue. Ex-squaddies would be perfect on the streets of London.
Perfect.
As a copper. they make great coppers. Like when you're on the streets in like Kosovo and Ireland and that, you're a glorified copper. You know how to police the streets. Trust me, you do.
Yes.
Even in Iraq and Afghan,
Yes.
you are policing the streets.
Way above the local Bobby.
Yeah.
Way above.
Yeah. But you've got such a sixth sense on different things. You know when things ain't right and right. But you would like I wouldn't be hanging outside nightclubs and pubs trying to nick someone that's shouting because they're drunk because it's an easy nick. I'd be hiding in alleyways to try and nick fucking scumbags. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that should be looked at. But I've also said, well, I think the police should get ex-squaddies to help them. Like, so if they go to arrest a squaddie, they should have like soldiers. Like, if the police are going to arrest a squaddie, he's not going to come quietly.
No.
If he's been in a punch up or he's like sometimes so they've barricaded themselves in a house, he's not coming quietly. Do you know what I mean? They should have like numbers of ex-squaddies like that want to volunteer to turn up and say, right, come on, mate, I was in this, and talk on the level. Or even if they're in the cell, just sort of turn up there like as like a padre or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. I remember when I got arrested for something a little while ago, a good few years ago now. But I was at the desk sergeant, and I said, I've got PTSD. I've been diagnosed with PTSD. You know, on the desk, what you got? And he said, all right. He said, I was in a TA. He said, so if you need any help with a PTSD, just give me a shout. And I said, oh, how many operational tours you done? He went, none. I said, well, why the fuck would I talk to you then? I said, shut your mouth and put me in a fucking cell. Yeah.
It's so patronising, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's so fucking patronising.
Yeah. But this year, there'll be no incidences, there'll be no getting arrested, there'll be nothing. This is a good year. And this is the start of it, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It is.
So, yeah. We're good.
It is. Book.
Going to try and pump that series to get done. I'm actually meeting my ghostwriter tomorrow again.
Leave that with me.
Okay. All right.
You leave that with me.
Okay.
My best friend works for Channel 4 and Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll have a conversation
Yeah,
with
the first 3 episodes have been written. Yeah.
Okay. We'll get them to him. Make him. Yeah.
I've got a synopsis already done.
Yeah. Leave that with me.
Yeah, cool.
Got your number now.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll answer this time. The only time you answer me is for today. I always try and ring you.
Oh, have you? Do you know what it is? Probably because I've not saved your number.
Yeah, save it after this, yeah.
It's because I've not saved you. I won't have saved your number.
Yeah.
And my phone's fucking always
I
ringing.
bet it's on fire.
Always ringing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I bet you I've got 20 missed calls now.
Yeah.
Adam, it has been a pleasure.
Ah, thanks. You've done me the world good. I really appreciate it, Ben. And everything you're doing, mate. You're doing great
I'm
stuff.
not fucking
Thank
Ben.
you.
I'm Nick. In actual fact, my middle name's Ben.
Nick,
so
sorry,
I'll
mate.
take it.
Sorry, mate.
Mate, any time you want to come and talk,
Yeah, no.
let's do it. On the
No,
phone.
from the bottom of my heart, you've done me good. And I really appreciate
Mate,
it.
it's
Thank
been
you.
an absolute pleasure.
Thanks.
And thank you for what you've done. I know it goes completely unnoticed. And if we can bring any awareness to it or anything, then we will. I will speak with my mate and let's get this book done. And if there's anybody else out there that you fucking know that wants to come on and chat or whatever, I don't know if we can start a fucking little, I don't know. A group, talk, whatever, because what an amazing human being. What an amazing human being. My guy.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, buddy.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right, mate.